I once was lost. Oh, pretty good. Hey, it is 5:46. I'm Danny Bonducci. This is KZOK. Good morning.
Good morning.
How are you?
I'm fabulous. How are you?
Good. I like your top, shirt, T-shirt, jacket thing.
Sweater. Thank you.
Whatever a girl puts over her boobs so you don't stare at them.
Her top shirt, not her bottom shirt.
Not her bottom shirt. That's a totally different thing. You ever seen her bottom shirt?
Definitely a top shirt.
Totally
I have not.
thing. What just happened there? Did she just say that? What? Never mind, you dirty birdie, you. So good morning, everybody. So here is the deal on I Once Was Lost. Aside from that is possibly the all-time greatest gospel tune.
Yeah.
Elvis sang 4 Grammys, 3 competitive and 1 lifetime. Do you know all 3 of his Grammys for gospel music? He never won for a pop tune.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Well, I'm saying it. I could be, Fidel Castroing it and be totally wrong.
No, I'm
but
sure
I
you're right.
believe that I am correct on that one, that he only won for gospel. So, how to even go about this? I went to my son's school this weekend. He's at a boarding school up in the mountains. It's gorgeous. I was telling Paul this morning that if you were to go up to Suncadia or even Snoqualmie and just go to an area like Suncadia, it'd be perfect because if you made all the expensive, nice homes up there classrooms, that's what my son's school looks like.
Goodness.
There's trails
Fancy.
to walk. You can walk not too far to a nice little village that had, there was a diner that had Korean tacos.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, if I had to be in trouble with my family and shipped off the boarding school, I'll go there in a minute.
Will you send
Technically,
me?
What?
Technically, where is it? This boarding school.
Technically,
It's in California, but
Idlewild. Is that not down for you?
It's close to Palm Springs, right?
There's a mountain in the way, so
Okay.
it's 2 hours from Palm
Oh, wow.
Springs.
Oh.
Even though on a map it looks like they're best buds.
Yeah.
But no, you got to drive around a mountain and up. When Dante insisted it was 5,200 feet elevation, I said, no. That's the elevation. That's a mile. Not only, there's a very few cities that are mile high. There's Denver.
Right.
But what are the odds it's going to be almost precisely a mile? Little bastard was right. He does it all the time. Yeah, he's right a lot of time. Remember I told you before, you're not allowed to take a picture of the Eiffel Tower at night because somebody trademarked it?
Yeah.
Totally true. I mean, you're allowed to, but they could come after you if you wanted to.
That's so crazy.
So weird. And what's crazier is he's right. He doesn't know anything. So let me do this as fast as I can because a lot happened. At the airport, when I went to get on the plane, I could not find my phone. Now, I know I had it.
Mm-hmm.
I was checking things about, not the flight, but about Idlewild, about Palm Springs. And I remember saying and doing things that would say, you had to have had your phone. Oh, I know what it was. I was looking stuff up, and I realized there's 2 young women right across from me in pretty short skirts. And if you looked at it just the right way or thought that man's a perv, which I don't know, maybe, it could look like I'm taking pictures of him, which I was not. I'm talking to my wife about stuff. But so anyway, I put the camera away or the phone away. So I get on the plane. I say, I don't have the phone. We got to get on the plane. Forget it. I'll get a new one. Life's not over. I'm not married to that friggin' thing. So let's go. So at some point, Amy calls Paul, and Paul says, use the wacky phone finder app.
Yeah, find my iPhone. Go through iCloud and use the Find My iPhone function.
Right. So we're on the plane, and it says, and by the way, thank you for that, because it was awesome.
welcome.
Almost awesome in the sense that we didn't get my phone, but it's not
sorry it
your
didn't work
fault.
out.
Totally not your fault. I see that it's right where I said it was. It's out on the chair, essentially, that I was sitting in. So they go. I said to the nice young man bringing whatever he was bringing around, a plane full of people, I said, yeah, I left my phone out there. And he goes, you have 2 minutes, because everything was late. The plane was an hour late, and then even that, the co-pilot wasn't there yet. He was landing on another plane. The fog, apparently in this day and age, fog still screws up airplanes.
Yeah.
Like, you don't
This
need to
morning,
see.
I bet it's terrible. I
But
bet
what do
nobody's
you
flying
need to
anywhere.
see? You have radar. Radar sees. So anyway, he goes, well, you can go out there if you want to and go get it, but come right back. I said, yeah, okay, I'll do that. I ran out there, and I look at the door I'm about to open. I think, don't open it. You're at an airport, and that door is closed. You know there's an alarm. Then there's a big green button. Like if it was a red button, it would definitely meant emergency. It's like a bam, you smash it.
Yeah,
And
okay.
you know that it's an emergency. This one's a green one. Maybe I should hit that before I go out the door. No, if I hit that, then for sure an alarm's going to go off. So I open the door, and alarms go off in the airport, and people don't like that.
Yeah, I bet not.
So a bunch of people come up, but this one guy says to me, I'm sorry, but you just cannot come out. So I said, well, at least one of us has. And he laughed. So I said, good, because I don't know that you can say that in these days. Like, because with my son's school, everybody got touchy about everything.
Yeah.
So
So you
I
did
don't-
not get your phone?
Don't get it. They say it's at I don't know where they said it is, but it's not there.
Lost and found or something?
Yeah, lost and found, the utility closet. That's what they said. Alaskan Airlines utility closet. That's where it will be. Ask for Steve. And it's totally not there.
And I bet you can't even get into that part of the airport without a ticket, right? You can't get past security.
No, to be on the way out.
Oh, okay.
No. I'm going to go to Palm Springs. I'm going to live without my phone all weekend.
Yeah, okay.
Get back, and on the way out, right by baggage claim, go there, but it wasn't there. So I can't get it. Maybe I'll get it today. So here's the thing on my son's school. First of all, beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. And my son's being extraordinary. I can't, he's never been away from home. He's a mama's boy.
Yeah.
And he'd tell you that. He calls his mother mommy, always has, and does mommy and son type activities with her. And she goes with him with friends and says, I don't like it, the relation, to be honest with you. But it's because I hate her mostly. But don't call your mother mommy. You're 6 feet tall. Stop. You have a beard and a septum piercing. Stop calling your mother mommy. So anyway, we get to school. It's really beautiful. Some weird stuff's happening. Like there's a kid with a mohawk and a really fancy jacket. If I have to break the ice with this kid, I'm going to go with his leather jacket, which is all hand studded and things. It looks like the jacket from Rocky Horror Picture Show. So he's in a jazzy chair, and Dante walks up to him, kisses him on the forehead, which that's fine with me. As a matter of fact, I'm kind of happy that he's close enough with this kind of punk rocker. What are you doing, Timmy? Mwah. Come on, let's go this way. He goes, you don't need to be in that chair. Now I go, oh, it all turns south that fast. And the kid gets up. Oh. He pulled a hammy or something. He doesn't need to be in the chair, but it's hills and stuff at that school. Yeah. So, okay.
You didn't think, it's a miracle.
So I don't even know how to tell you this, not in the sense like I'm timid about it or anything. I just don't understand the order in which this came in. Now, to give you an idea of how the school works, there's a section, I guess, dormitories for the trans kids, and there's a dormitory for the non-binary kids. And they're all pretty well armed. I'll explain.
Yeah, what do you mean?
It seems like everybody that I don't trust even a little bit has a bow and arrow, and apparently they're pretty damn good with it. Oh. So like I said, there's the trans kids in that room, the non-binary kids over there, the kid with a limp in that jazzy chair, and that guy's got a bow and arrow, and it doesn't seem safe to me.
One man is dead and 3 injured after a nightclub shooting in Lakewood yesterday. The DJ at the New World VIP Lounge said it was chaos. Gunshots rang out. Multiple police units arrived. This happened at 1:25 in the morning. There were 3 victims, all with gunshot wounds, who were taken to the hospital. And one of those victims did die from his injuries. A 4th victim was taken to the hospital by friends. Those people are expected to survive, and now there is a search for the perpetrators.
Unbelievable. Now, is it my imagination? When did we get here? 2010?
Sure, yeah. I
okay,
think
that's good enough, right?
right?
Are there a bunch more people shooting each other on
Way
3rd
more, yeah.
and in Everett, and where was this?
This was in Lakewood.
In Lakewood? Am I making that up? Is it like the pit bull thing? Like everybody thinks they're so dangerous, but totally they're not? Or are way more people shooting each other than 2010?
Yeah, I think even just within the last 4 or 5 years, it's probably doubled. Because we were not talking about every day a shooting, multiple shootings.
I am wearing the same shoes since 2010.
Yeah.
My shoes should go out of fashion before more people think, let's shoot at each other.
Yeah.
It should take 20 years for whatever is happening to happen.
Yeah, I don't know statistically in the state of but that in Seattle proper, yes, the numbers have gone up. I would imagine in Washington State they have as well. In Western Washington, they probably have. So I don't think it's the pit bull phenomena, to answer your question, Danny.
I remember about 3 years ago, I spent some time visiting because that doesn't happen there.
Yeah.
And it does now. And it's certainly more than 3, 4, 5 years
I was
ago.
raised in Los Angeles, where they told you by the score. 17 people were shot last night in and around Los Angeles. So, I mean, we're still doing great, but, the powers that be. Here's the thing. This is the problem. This is the double-edged sword of a completely free society. We're completely free because I want to go home, kiss my wife, get some sleep, come back here and do the best job I can and pay my taxes. That's why I'm free. Now, people running around shooting each other because we're free, they're free, and you can't just stop them and talk to them and say, hey, don't have that gun. You really, everybody is free until the cops go and get them. And in my opinion, it's too late.
Yeah.
I say arrest some innocent people. That'll show them.
Several powerful earthquakes have been reported near Vancouver Island, including a magnitude 6.8.
Wow.
The U.S. Geological Survey says several of these quakes were reported last night. The depth was about 6 miles. And this is just west of Tofino, Canada. The 3 larger quakes ranged from a 6.5 to a 6.8. There were some smaller ones as well as aftershocks. Now, it looks to be about 5 in total, but the good news is no tsunami warnings were issued. They are not expected to be issued.
Is that good news because there's no tsunami coming?
Yes.
Or is somebody totally fired? Oh, man, look at that. That's a giant wave, yet nobody issued a tsunami.
Yeah.
That's just a wave.
Unfortunately, the quake took out the building where the tsunami warning is issued from.
Beer is a part of many people's college experience.
Yeah, me and Kavanaugh.
One Washington school is offering a degree in it. Now, according to the director of the program, this is not a degree for beer drinking.
Right.
It is a degree for understanding the science, the business, and how it fits in the larger beverage industry. This is the Craft Brewing and Distilling program being offered at the South Puget Sound Community College in Olympia. This class is the first in the nation to offer an associate's degree in distilling.
Yeah, I think both UW and Washington State have great wine programs and great beer programs, but nobody has a distilling program like this. It's really
Don't
cool.
you have a distilling program in your garage?
No, I don't make spirits, but I do brew beer. Yeah.
Is that what we're talking about? I'm sorry.
It's
they're-
both.
They're making alcohol?
Yeah.
Oh,
Distilling
wow.
is
And that's the new
specific
thing, is that
alcohol.
no other school is doing that.
Not a new thing to me.
You made that in your dorm room, did you?
Absolutely. You take shaving cream, you put it on a cheesecloth, and what drips through is booze. That's a fact, mister.
Well, some people who are taking this program already have a bachelor's degree. They have a 4-year degree, but they don't know how to distill or to brew. And this will, they say, give them an edge because they'll have a college degree and, say, an experience in business, but then they go back to school and learn how to distill and brew, and they can have a business.
Well, I will tell you this, it is very important when we ever play a little game, and we've played it a couple of different times, different words, but if you're ever going to be stuck on a deserted island and you could bring 3 things with you or whatever, what would you bring? And my first thing every time is a cat that knows how to distill. There's got to be fruit on this island somewhere. How can you not have booze? I'm be stuck there. Charlie's a jerk, and he's not going to go in. I can't kill him. I know there's laws. Somebody make booze.
Well, now you can send your cat to college to learn.
Got to get a UW guy.
Over the weekend, Donald Trump said he will withdraw from a landmark arms control agreement that the United States signed with the Soviet Union. He is accusing Russia of violating that pact. This is a Cold War-era treaty that requires both countries to eliminate short-range and intermediate-range nuclear and conventional missiles from their arsenals. And Donald Trump said Russia is not honoring the agreement, so we are going to terminate it. We are going to pull out.
I thought it was under Reagan during the Cold War, right?
Yeah.
But I thought it was the opposite of that. I thought you could keep your shore because we don't care what they can do up to 3,000 miles. We only care after that. So I thought the pact was you can't make missiles that go over 3,500 miles, and that was also the pact. We agreed we wouldn't make missiles that went over 3,500 miles, and I thought they agreed that we wouldn't. And now they're saying, well, you have missiles in Europe. That's not fair. And we say, but so it's a whole big thing.
Diplomatically speaking,
Diplomatically
we say.
speaking. After I say to Putin, then I wipe his chin off. That's a little disgusting.
Well, there's certainly a lot of heavy stuff going on in the world, but there is a little bit of good news. A little
What's
bit
that?
of glimmer of good news in it all. Then we'll get back to the bad news. The good news is you still have a chance to become America's newest billionaire.
Yeah,
Yeah.
man.
There was no winner in Friday night's Mega Millions drawing. That jackpot is at least $1.6 billion for tomorrow's drawing.
That's awesome.
If you go with the one-time cash option, you get $905.
Who has $905,000? What do they give it to you in a box? How do you get it?
$1 million too.
What?
Rather than it's million rather than thousand.
Did I
Oh,
say
okay.
1,000?
No, I may have.
Oh,
It doesn't
okay.
matter.
It's a lot more than that.
$900 million. Where is it? Who's got it?
Yeah.
And how do I get it? Is
Good
it in
question.
it wouldn't fit in a shoebox no matter what the denomination, right?
No, I don't think so.
Yeah, it's
They
very
don't even
odd.
have denominations big enough for it to fit in a
I
a
don't think they pay
shoebox.
out in cash either. First of all, they give you that giant check. So you got to figure out how you're going to deposit
that's a bit. Try doing that in an ATM.
Well, the jackpot grew more than $400 million, and that payout for this past one would have been $667. So it just keeps going. So here's how it works. We always think like, how much are you actually getting?
Yeah.
Turns out the federal government takes 25% before the check is even handed to the winner.
Yeah.
Then you have to pay taxes on top of that.
Well, if the government, who else takes taxes besides the government?
It's taxed before you get it, and then when you get it, you pay the tax on it. So
but that 25% is
tax.
Is the tax. I don't think you'll owe additional tax on that.
Guy named Jimmy doesn't come up and say, "Give me 25% of your dough."
They take 25%.
Yeah.
Then they collect the remaining taxes that you will be charged, and many states also collect tax.
Why don't they just take it all tax? Why do I have to do something later? Give me my money, and I'm going to run out of town.
Yeah. So this is a big deal for Washington, so to speak. This is a big deal for the
I may
government.
break down and get tickets. You have tickets?
I do have tickets, yeah.
Do you have tickets?
I do.
Yeah.
When it's this big, you got to play.
I think you got it, and I don't expect to win. I may even lose the ticket, but I feel like I'm obligated to, you're not an American. If there's $1 billion out there that you could have, no matter how remotely, it seems to me, under the rules of being an American, you kind of have to go get that. It's my pursuit of happiness, and it's at 7-Eleven.
It is. If you don't buy a ticket and someone wins on this next drawing, you're going to feel like a sucker.
Well, I thought you were going to say you were a communist, and I was going to agree with you totally.
And you're a communist.
Yeah, communist sucker. How bad's your life?
By the way, Powerball, no winner either, and that's up to $500 million.
Wow.
But if you're real money.
Here's some real money. $13 chances a day to win. A lot better odds than the lotto. Check KZOK.com for your chance to win. And text that word right now, luck, to 200-200.
Now, $1,000, as I understand it, is less than $1.6 billion.
True.
But you have 13 chances a day. This is a once in a life. Start with us.
Yeah, and
then go buy 1,000 lottery tickets.
It might be less than $1.6 billion, but nobody's going to turn it down. I'll take $1,000 right now.
Hey, let's see. So we give you it's $1,000, and we don't say, "Hey, we're going to make you pay your taxes." That's up to you, right?
We're not going to collect taxes from you for sure.
I mean, I might. Now that I know you have a grand, I might come to your house. Spot, dude, see what you giving me.
Also making news, a sad story from Taiwan. We always talk about how we want those fast trains, the high-speed trains.
Yeah.
Well, unfortunately, one of those very fast trains crashed over the weekend. There was a derailment in one of Taiwan's fastest passenger trains. It derailed along a curve, killing at least 18 people, injuring 200. This train had 360 passengers, was headed to the beach, headed to a coastal city, when it derailed on a quick turn. They're trying to figure out exactly how this happened.
Did you see how fast it was going?
No, I do not. I don't know how fast exactly it was going when it hit those. But
the weirdest things about those
170
bullet trains. Oh no! And in Asia, they'll break 300 miles an hour. I was on one in Japan that did over 200 miles an hour. And it doesn't feel like it. It's like airplanes. You ever see airplanes? You're like, that thing looks like it's going 30.
Yeah, right.
How is it staying in the sky? Same thing once you're in one of these trains. But then I thought, this thing's going over 200 miles an hour. If anything bad happens, nothing little is going to happen here. It's going to be a bad deal. But I think still get in line. What's happening with technology? My planes, all the planes I took for the weekend, all two, were late by hours because of fog. Who can't see through fog with radar, man? I can see through my GPS sees through. That's craziness. And now a train, it doesn't have a dead man switch that says you can't go 200 around that turn? Come on, put me in charge. That's what I say.
I don't know why they haven't done it yet.
That's craziness.
Nebraska. We made a lot of fun of Nebraska last week.
We did, yeah.
But now Nebraska back in the news for all the wrong reasons. A public school district has said they will no longer serve kangaroo meat after a recent incident that cost a chef his job.
Oh, my God, I cannot wait.
Kevin Fry was the head cook at the Potter Dix. Now, he was making a huge batch of chili and said, I want to make this a little healthier. I want to try to spice this up a little bit. I'm going to put in some kangaroo meat.
Yep.
Which is perfectly legal in America.
And super lean red meat.
That's what he thought. And he has been talking about its nutritional value, super lean. And
Generally, though, the school district's going to order the food they're serving in the kitchen. Did he just bring this from home?
well, because he was the head cook,
Yeah.
head chef, he actually
Nobody
was the guy
knew. He made
ordering
all
it.
the calls?
Well, somebody found out. He had mixed it, so it wasn't even just kangaroo meat.
Yeah.
He had mixed it in just like you would when you make a meatloaf or something.
yeah.
A bunch of different kind of ground
Little
meats.
kangaroo, little
I-
porcupine.
The
Yeah.
times I've had it, I thought it was just fine and everything, but it's a different consistency. You'd know. You'd go, what's this?
Well, he put it in the chili along with pork and beef. And when somebody found out, not exactly sure how they found out, maybe he did tell somebody,
He had to have told somebody.
they freaked out. The school said you can't just feed the kids kangaroo. Parents were upset and said it's exotic meat. You can't serve kids exotic meat. You are fired.
Oh, I think this poor guy got screwed.
Yeah. Is there a known
agree.
allergy that like people, certain amount of people are
They think it's
allergic to
exotic, they
kangaroo?
think it's cute, and they think it's endangered. And it may be cute, but it ain't endangered. As a matter of fact, it endangers others. It's
Yeah.
a menace. For as smart as it allegedly is, it doesn't seem to avoid cars. On those
Right.
crazy outback roads where people all the time go 100. And all of a sudden, little Hoppy the kangaroo jumps out in front of your car. That's bad. I mean, I've eaten kangaroo tail. The kangaroo was pissed off. I should have killed it first. But no, I've eaten that kangaroo tail while I was there on shish kebab skewers. It was delicious.
Yeah, it was just parents not wanting their kids to eat what they call exotic meat. Well, yeah, he's out of a job.
How
I'm
is
sure
how is
he'll
a
find
cow
something.
less exotic? It wears a fur coat.
Right.
You know, that's an exotic meat.
A new study looking at how life expectancy around the world will have changed in the coming years has bad news for the United States.
Uh-oh.
We are going to see, according to these experts, a drop in life expectancy. We were in 43rd, and by the year 2040, we will be in 64th place.
That's a big
For
drop.
life expectancy?
The life expectancy will drop.
Who knew
to
there were 63 other countries?
Yeah. It mattered.
Right.
79.8 years will be the life expectancy.
You know, I'm almost 60 years old, and my mom, who is alive and well, is 35 years older than me.
Yeah.
She's my wife's entire age older than me.
That's pretty amazing.
Yeah, so whatever you say about life expectancy, because I intend to live forever now. I was trying to make 72. That was my big goal in life. Now, 100.
Well, it turns out in the year 2040, by the year 2040, Japan will no longer have the highest life expectancy. It's expected to go to Spain, then Japan, and they're going to live to 85.8 years.
Wow.
So Spain, Japan, Singapore, Switzerland, Portugal, Italy, Israel, France, Luxembourg, Australia, all those people living longer than us.
At least 3 of those countries were fake.
Yeah.
Balling
And
it right
France with the cheese and the baguette and the
Yeah.
cigarettes.
there. And the berets. Nobody's going to hurt anybody for wearing a beret.
Right.
A Virginia store has had 20 right foot shoes stolen over the course of 3 break-ins so far this year.
It's the one-legged guy, for sure. One-legged bandit.
It's not the kicker. There can't be a one-legged kicker, can there?
No, that would be tough.
I just, because I get bored. Oh, I can't believe I can't look stuff up because I lost my phone. But I was looking at how many people in the NFL can kick field goals with either leg.
Oh,
The
yeah.
answer is neither. None currently.
None?
I was very
Nobody?
bummed. I thought I was going to get 3.
That's a big thing in soccer. Like if you have that skill to kick goals with both legs, that you're really highly coveted.
Well, they're looking for the person who keeps stealing from this store. And finally, they have found the perpetrator of the crime. 21-year-old Manuel Godoy was found to have all of those sneakers. They were just the right foot, Air Jordans. He also had stolen a sweatshirt printed, "Call my lawyer."
Oh, that's very funny.
No word on whether or not he has a lawyer for them to call, but he was arrested. Merchandise worth $5,000.
Any explanation as to why he stole? He had after the first robbery know that it's all right feet.
They don't know if it was all the same kid, but he would steal from the display, and the display
All
is
right feet.
1 foot.
I don't think they can really charge him with $5,000 worth of theft because he can't. They're not valued at $5,000.
Nice.
He
Yeah.
can't sell those right shoe only.
I thought you were right for 4 seconds.
yeah.
Because of stealing the right, they can't sell the left, which was worth $5,000.
Africa's
Tactically,
youngest
yeah.
billionaire is back home, safe and
Who is?
sound. Africa's youngest billionaire.
Do they have a bunch of older ones there?
We talked about this guy, I would say maybe a week and a half ago when he had been kidnapped. He was kidnapped by masked gunmen while he was on his way to the gym in Dar es Salaam. And bam, he's back home.
Bam.
And they're trying to figure out what exactly happened. It seems like something from a TV show or a movie when they kidnap somebody and say, oh, pay the ransom, don't call the FBI.
Right.
And then they pay the ransom and the person comes back home. They're
Or
not...
They send you their head in a box.
Right, or they do get the FBI involved. In this case, they said they think the abductors freaked out because it got so much worldwide press
Right.
that they let him go. They're trying to figure out if they paid any ransom or not.
Maybe they didn't know who they had, that he was important, and they're like, give us $700 and we'll give him back. Then they saw the news.
Why would they kidnap an unimportant person? Who's going to pay?
I don't know, just grab anybody.
Just grabbing some guy? Boy, you get these guys. Here's the problem. They're not chipped. They should
Right.
be chipped. So you all know we're all, I can't believe that Bill Gates isn't chipped.
He
Oh,
might
I bet
be.
Bill Gates is chipped.
See, they're chipped. They're stealing my ideas.
Him and Bezos. Yeah, they're stealing it from
Totally.
you.
I come up. You should have seen me one day back in like '77. I was eating this apple,
Yeah.
and I thought, that's all. I thought, and they did stuff.
It's time for today's Things Are Not Right in Florida. Story of the day.
Yay!
Well, when you get pulled over by police, oftentimes they say, do you have anything on your person? And one woman who went pulled over said, I might have a little bit of heroin in my purse. I might have a little bit of heroin in my bra. They said, anything else? She said, no. Well, that's when they searched her person and found she had a lot more than just a small amount in her purse and her bra. She had meth. She had a spoon. She had needles. She had a small envelope hidden someplace secret. They said, do you have anything else? And that's when they looked in her purse and found even more.
Even more heroin. Wow.
She seems to have just forgotten about the needles, the meth, and the spoon.
I bet my wife could put 3/4 of a pound of heroin in her bra. You just go, oh, that's Amy, and her giant bazooka's coming in here.
Glad you said her bra. Oh, Florida.
Oh, Florida.
What else would I have said?
I said this woman had it where the sun doesn't shine.
Oh, no, that's
in
why
her
I smuggle
secret
my stuff.
hiding
Amy
space.
refuses.
Hey, when we come back with music news, Ted Nugent says people are outraged Ted Nugent isn't in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
Oh, yeah, they're marching in the streets.
Oh,
beside
yes.
myself.
Wait till you hear what Ted Nugent's saying. And history was made in the NFL yesterday, not once, but twice. Usain Bolt has been offered a Mariners contract. I'll explain next in sports. Starting with music news, Ted Nugent has been speaking out about not being in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
He claims there's no human alive that doesn't think he should have the honor.
Well, let's check. Danny, are you a human?
No.
No?
Get a
Okay.
vote apparently.
Well, I'm a human, and I'm alive, and I don't think Ted Nugent should be in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
Would you vote against or would you vote to not care?
I would vote to not care.
I'd vote to not care. Because I got to tell you, when I was doing radio in Detroit, you were in a jam for, boy, do I need a good 20 minutes. Somebody called Ted, and he'd come down with guns. And, like, people get hysterical.
Yeah.
He'd show up at a radio station with guns and want to talk about him, or even weirder, not talk about him. So then I'd go, Ted, you have 3 guns. Are we not mentioning that? No, we're going to mention it because all the turkey heads are blah, blah, blah. I mean, he's a lunatic, but he's some good radio.
I
Here's
think when the
what-
list of nominees come out every year, it's so long, I can't see Ted Nugent ever rising to the top of that list.
Here's what he said in an interview about not being in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
It's sacrilege. It's ultimately disrespectful and cruel to Chuck Berry, Bo Diddley, Little Richard, and the founding fathers in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Because the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame means something, I don't have to explain that to you because you know, and you don't have to explain it to me. Abandon egos, bragging, and Ted Nugent speaking on behalf of Ted Nugent. Is it or is it not vulgar, dishonest, and obscene?
Somebody has to explain it to me because he lost me a while
Yeah,
ago.
this is his quote. Ted Nugent speaking on behalf of Ted Nugent. Is it obscene, vulgar, and dishonest that Grandmaster Flash, Patti Smith, and ABBA are in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, but Ted flipping Nugent isn't? Is that the most outrageous, disgusting lie you have ever seen?
No. Ask my ex-wife if she's ever seen any more disgusting lies than Ted Nugent's not in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
I would like you to find a human being and believe them when they say Ted Nugent should not be in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. I would love to witness that exchange. You would not see a person almost melt with guilt because you would know they are lying.
Can I change my vote from not care to no?
To know? Yeah. I just want to know what he got. Does he mean Patti Smith? Patti Smith is the one in a cool band, right?
Yes, not Patty Smythe.
Not Patti Smythe.
Right.
Yeah.
Who would vote against Patti Smith? She belongs in there.
Yeah, I love the third person.
All right, here's a question, and you may not think it's a real question. It's weird that I'm asking Sarah this instead of knowing, but I don't know. Am I in a bit of me talking about the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame? Because I did something.
Well, you have never been nominated to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
I don't play an instrument. Well, wait, that's not true anymore. I'm great.
At the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, they are planning an exhibit for, I think it's the music of TV or TV and music.
And I'm the guy saying, welcome to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
And you're going to be part of it.
Yeah. That's bitching. So Ted Nugent can just bite me.
As soon as that happens, if it's not there yet, as soon as that happens, you need to let him know.
By the way, I will let him know, but when all of a sudden I'm in mid-sentence and you hear and an arrow goes through my chest, Ted found out where we work, and it's mattered than I thought.
Some rare live recordings from Neil Young are finally going to see the light of day. The singer-songwriter is set to release Songs for Judy, which is a collection of live acoustic performances recorded at various cities in 1976.
Wow.
This is a 22-song album that will include a previously unreleased track called No One Seems to Know, alongside other renditions of songs like Heart of Gold, Sugar Mountain, and Too Far Gone. And this is a collection that was curated by rock journalist turned Oscar-winning filmmaker Cameron Crowe.
Yeah, sure.
They were with him during that tour of 1976.
I was in the 11th grade. You two weren't born yet.
Nope.
And I was in the 11th grade.
Britney Spears is about to return to Vegas, baby.
Yeah. She's great, as I understand it.
She's got a new residency that she's going to be doing next year, and there are some rumors that she is going to mix it up. It's not going to be the same kind of show, that she's going to be edgier. I mean, she's already pretty edgy. I thought on her.
I mean, edgy as a Vegas performer can be and keep their clothes on and not swear. So does that lead you to believe?
She's going to swear and take her clothes off? Yeah.
Yeah, she already doesn't wear much clothing.
Yeah, and some of that's fake.
The painted on abs.
Oh, yeah, she does. She wears like skin-colored clothing.
Skin color under a bunch of diamonds that are strategically placed that are also a lie. Those aren't diamonds.
Right.
Now, she will have a new residency that, will start in February. The Park Theater inside the Park MGM Casino Resort on the Strip.
And is that different than her last residency? Is she jumping ship and going to a new hotel?
She just wrapped up at a different a different venue last year. I don't know the name of that one.
Wow, that is so weird. I would, if I was doing their contract, I'd say you can't go to a competing casino for at least 5 years or something like that.
Yeah, maybe that's within the same company. They're just moving her to a different casino.
Because all of those things, man, are so inbred up there. Like whole sides of the street have different names and everything, but they're really the same. That Wynn guy owns everything.
Yeah, and that MGM Grand, I know they have a ton of properties.
Right,
so.
they do.
It could certainly be that, but it could also be that her time of you can't play at another casino is over, because it will have been a year at least. Tickets will start at $79. They go on sale to the general public on the 26th. Concerts are scheduled. Again, this is Britney Spears in Vegas, February, March, May, July, August. Lady Gaga and Aerosmith also have residencies at this same place.
Same place?
Park Theater.
Wow, because not at the same time. What a show.
That would be awesome.
That would be.
Pay the $80, people. Don't do the timeshare thing. It's not worth it.
No.
It's really not.
How long when you were in Vegas and you had to go to that timeshare meeting, how long was it, Paul?
So it was supposed to be 90 minutes, including the ride over and breakfast, which was nonsense. It was a couple hours before we were able to get out of there with what they had promised us.
Yikes.
And that was not including the travel time. And we traveled probably 20 minutes outside of the city when they told us, oh yeah, it's just down the strip. No, it was not. So.
And you, how much of that did you absolutely know was coming?
All of it, really.
All of it, that much time? Oh.
And it was just, we don't have plans today, and we want to go to another show. Why not go to another show on them? So they gave us breakfast, and they gave us a voucher for a restaurant. We had a nice dinner, went to a Cirque show, and so it was kind of worth it, except I'm still getting the phone calls.
Are you recommending the timeshare dinner to the people you just said don't do this to?
No, it was worth the time in Vegas, but now all the junk mail and the phone calls that I'm getting, it's not worth that.
I used to sell something in Vegas on my radio show, and I had to go up there every year, and I can't remember what the hell it was. It wasn't timeshares. Maybe, I don't know. And they had every has-been actor. If you had a face that people could recognize from a show somewhere,
Yeah.
you were one of the people hawking this timeshare. And like everybody hated us because like they'd come up there, they'd win the trip, then everything like that, and then they'd have to do the stuff, and they just hate us. One of the has-beens was one of the wives from that 70s show that they fired for being high all the time.
Oh.
Yeah, so she's running around, and guess what she was? High all the time.
Actress Selma Blair, best known for her roles in Hellboy, Legally Blonde, Cruel Intentions, over the weekend publicly revealed that she has MS. She took to Instagram and said she was recently diagnosed with multiple sclerosis. She said, I am disabled. I fall sometimes. I drop things. My memory is foggy. My left side is asking for directions from a broken GPS, but I am doing my best to get through it.
Oh, poor baby.
It's tough. As she said, she credits actress Elizabeth Berkley for convincing her to see a neurologist who made the diagnosis. She had no idea what was wrong with her.
Oh, if I had to keep one of those two things secret, I would keep secret that I asked Elizabeth Berkley for anything.
For advice.
I guess her brother is a neurologist, and he's the one who made the diagnosis. No cure for multiple sclerosis.
Sad, because she, by the way, I mean, I've only met her, like, bumped into her, kind of met her, but she went out of her way to be nice to me. And, she's very pretty, very successful Hollywood person. Normally, that's a mathematical equation for not nice. And she was very nice to me and my family and nice to my kids.
She does have a Netflix sci-fi drama she'll be co-starring in called Another Life, and I haven't the faintest idea what that's about.
Well, I'm going to guess. You have this life over here.
Yeah,
And then over here, you know what you have over here?
What? No, what?
Another life.
Oh,
Mystery solved.
thank you.
Maybe, you don't know.
The Marvel Universe just got a slice smaller on Netflix. Over the weekend, they canceled Marvel's Luke Cage. This news surprised fans because it's a really good show.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Luke Cage canceled, no explanation given. So now they have canceled Iron Fist, which was also Marvel. And most people said, meh. Luke Cage canceled 2 seasons. The good news is, if you hadn't watched it and plan to, go ahead and watch it because it ends. There's no cliffhanger. The
You know what they should
storyline
have
wraps
done
up.
Is dump the lead actor and hired Nick Cage.
Nick Cage is Luke Cage.
Nick Cage, that was really good, man.
Thank you.
But he's such an over-the-top, crazed actor.
Yeah.
He's got to be my age, and I think he can pull off superhero stuff just by. What is your superpower? I'm incredibly weird. Oh, I think that'd be awesome.
Derek, I know you watched Luke Cage. Does this bum you out, or were you over it?
They had just set it up for a season 3 that looked like it was going to be really good, so I'm kind of surprised they canceled it.
Yeah, I think everybody was. I get that. I was about to say what the end was. I realized, whoops, I can't even say spoiler alert because that'd be really mean.
Yeah, because we're totally going to watch it too. I'm very excited about it.
And Counterpart, the espionage sci-fi thriller, has a season 2 release date. Stars announced over the weekend, December 9th is when that show will return. It stars J.K. Simmons, and James Cromwell will be joining the next season. Counterpart is, as I said, sci-fi espionage. It's about mirror worlds, and they accidentally
Looks
open up like a connecting tunnel,
Right.
and you have a counterpart. So there's a Danny Bonaducci living over there, but maybe completely different from this Danny Bonaducci.
Oh, my goodness gracious, what would I do about that? And that's the guy that we've seen it, we've covered it.
Yes.
State
Two
Farm?
weasels
State Farm,
attacked a
Allstate
house.
or
We've
something.
seen it, we've covered it.
Yeah. They were going to call that show Another Life, but it turns out there was that other show that we thought is the exact same thing.
Turns out you're right.
But what about this now? Do they have to cancel One Life to Live for being a big liar?
Yeah,
There's apparently
probably.
plenty lives to live.
Have they not canceled
I
One
think
Life
they
And
to
by
Live
the
yet?
canceled
way,
that one.
nobody on The Young and the Restless is young anymore.
True.
Everybody's lying.
They're all still restless, though, especially their evil twins.
Yeah. And they're frozen heads.
2-time Tony winner Matthew Broderick is set to play Principal Burr in Netflix's new dramedy Daybreak.
Bueller.
Yep, that Matthew Broderick.
Bueller.
Matthew Broderick
Bueller.
also has booked a guest role as Jackie's boyfriend on the Roseanne spinoff, The Connors.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Which one's Jackie?
That's her. That's Laurie
sister,
Metcalf,
yeah.
who
Oh, yeah.
was.
Roseanne's sister.
It's Roseanne's sister.
And on the show, I thought she dated women.
think she's gone back and forth because didn't she date George Clooney too?
Yeah, I think she's dated
Well, I don't
both.
think you have to be gay or straight to date George Clooney. I would so date George Clooney right now.
Now, Laurie Metcalf, who plays Jackie, she was Lady Bird's mom in that movie.
And brilliant. Gave me such agita. She was so tense.
Yes. Oh, she's such a good actress. Matthew Broderick, of course, Ferris Bueller, Biloxi Blues, War Games, Manchester by the Sea, you name it, he's done it. And, of course, winning Tonys for all of his Broadway
And married to
work.
what's her face with the face?
Sarah Jessica Parker.
That's the one with the face.
Yeah.
Hunger right here in our local communities. And once again, bringing it back this year. And we'll have some great incentives, hoping that you guys will again donate, help rock the harvest.
Do you guys have any idea how hard it is to raise and give away $1 million to an employee made of money? Was
Right.
it Christmas around here? Well, anyway, we're doing it. It's Rock the Harvest. We do it every year, and it's awesome.
Let's take a look at sports.
Sports.
Sports brought to you by Bradley Johnson Attorneys. If you're facing a DUI, call 1-800-DUI-AWAY. Over the weekend, some serious action. UW beat Colorado in college football 27-13. WSU put on a show with College Game Day being in Pullman. They beat up on Oregon 34-20. Now this Saturday, UW plays Cal 3:30, and WSU faces Stanford with a 4 o'clock start time.
I cannot tell you how many jerseys that I saw in Palm Springs.
The Cougs jerseys?
Yeah. All
Wow.
over
Awesome.
the place.
Yeah. People were super active on Facebook talking about it. So many people watching College Game Day. And when I went out just running errands and stuff, same thing, Danny. I saw the
Yeah.
colors everywhere. And when a lot of us were watching, Paul and I both saw Mike O'Boy, who we used
Yeah.
to work with.
On
Where?
College Game Day before the game
ESPN.
started. Yeah, on ESPN, holding up a big
Oh,
sign.
on TV.
Yeah, on TV.
Yeah, big
pretty
old
awesome.
smiling face. Like, we know him.
He's a total goofball, but boy, God love that guy. Always in a good mood.
Yep.
What did anybody go out and see him in that high school production of Oklahoma?
Oh, we
didn't
left that
see
to
it,
you.
Oh my God! But he walks out there. He has no lines. He's been working for a month, and he doesn't talk. He sings in the background. You don't know, but he walks out there because it's a ducks and chicks and geese. Better hurry. That
Yeah.
one. He's got his thumbs in his belt. And he's walking out. He borrowed a cowboy hat from me and a scarf. It was amazing.
Oh, funny. Sounders action. The Sounders topped the Dynamo 3-2 yesterday, and their next match will be Sunday, 1:30, against the San Jose Earthquakes. Last night, if you fell asleep before Sunday Night Football was over, well, you didn't miss anything because it was a whooping. 45-10, Kansas City beat the Cincinnati Bengals. Now, in doing so, Patrick Mahomes.
Mahomes.
He has made history. He threw 4 scoring passes in last night's win, which gives him 22 in the first 8 games of his career, which breaks the record for a rookie. It had been set at 21 by Kurt Warner back in the day.
Yeah, that's
And
already
now-
a crazy amount.
Yeah, it's still crazy. So 22.
Was that
True.
21 for the whole season or 21 in the first
First 8.
8 games? Okay, cool.
Yep, first 8. 22 touchdown passes. He's a rookie, and the kid is for real. He is fantastic. Now, the most for a total season was 55, Peyton Manning, but that was not rookie season.
Right.
We'll see what happens with Mahomes.
Yeah.
And another record was set. Drew Brees joins just 2 other quarterbacks. He and the Saints beat the Baltimore Ravens. Now Drew Brees has beaten every single football team he has every club he's ever played. 32.
But has he beat all of them?
He has beat all 32 teams.
Right on. That's an amazing. That's amazing.
Yeah.
Brett Favre and Pizza Manning were the other 2. I got to say, yesterday's was a heartbreaker. The most accurate kicker in NFL history is Justin Tucker. He had never missed a field goal ever.
Who's he play for?
Baltimore.
Baltimore.
First time he ever missed one.
You'd think if you were that good at your gig that pays money, you'd get the hell out of Baltimore.
Yeah.
Most accurate kicker in NFL history. He missed his first one.
Did it bounce off the
yesterday.
post? Somebody bounced off the post yesterday.
Yeah, I think I saw 2 bounces off
Yeah,
the post.
and well, here's the thing: the post is as thin as it is. Obviously, hitting it, or the odds are against that ever happening. Let alone not having it just either bounce back at you or bounce for the points. It hit and then bounced out.
out.
It wasn't
Yeah.
good. I felt bad for that guy.
Well, had Justin Tucker made that, it would have tied the game. It would have gone to overtime.
Yeah.
By the way, Cleveland, the Browns, another overtime game yesterday.
Oh wow, did they win?
No.
No.
So his kick would have tied it, not won.
Correct.
They're very mad. Asked for his mom. They kept calling him Mother Tucker. I don't know why.
Tonight, we've got Monday Night Football, Giants-Falcons with a 5:15 start time. Of course, yesterday the Seahawks were off. They resume action Sunday against Detroit. There was a little baseball game over the weekend.
Yeah.
Saturday night, Milwaukee, winner take all. Well, the Dodgers took it. 5-1.
Congratulations to you, sir.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Take it like a man.
So you, Danny, win. Paul, give
50
him.
trillion Zimbabwean dollars. Yeah, I'll get that to you before the show's
Right.
over.
Good enough.
So now the Dodgers will head to Fenway, head to Boston for the World Series. It's a rematch. 102 years in the making.
Yeah, I was going to say a rematch from quite some time
Yeah, it's been a
ago.
while. Nobody that was at that game will be at this one.
No,
That is
probably not.
correct. So, yeah, 102 years in the making. Back then, Babe Ruth and the Red Sox defeated the Dodgers.
Yeah, he pitched a shutout. Right? He was pitching
were
for 'em.
there.
Yeah, no, I
Yeah.
wasn't at that one. But if I remember correctly,
That's right.
from not
102
being
years
there.
ago.
Yeah.
That's right. It was a pitching performance
Yeah.
from Babe Ruth, who reportedly wore a cabbage leaf under his hat to keep his head cool.
That's neat.
That's a true story.
I believe that. It's very neat. It's so weird it has to be true.
Yeah. Now, the Dodgers have not won in 30 years, and Boston has not won since 2013, but it starts tomorrow. And
And one of them are going to win, right?
one of
That's
them
how it
will
works,
win.
right? There's only the two
Yes,
teams left.
Only one. And Usain Bolt, he's pretty fast fella.
Pretty fast,
Yeah, speedy guy.
He's known for running. Only now he has been offered a contract by the Mariners. A full-time playing contract for
Yeah.
the Mariners.
We'll take him. He's going to steal some bases.
Hang on, I can smell it. It's something weird.
It's the Central Coast Mariners soccer team.
Oh,
Oh, there you go. I smelled it, and now it's done cooking.
in Australia, right?
In Australia. 32 years old. He did a pretty good showing his first couple of games. They have offered him a contract. No word on whether or not he has accepted.
You know, whatever it is he's going to do, because I think he's unloaded. And if Jamaica ever needs a king, he'll get the nod. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? He couldn't be more famous and popular in his hometown, in his home country. But isn't the clock ticking on his age?
He's 32,
He's 30
definitely.
He's
Yeah.
32, and now he's thinking about soccer. He's probably already not the fastest man in the world anymore.
Yeah,
It'd be
true.
my guess, because that happens in hundreds of seconds.
Yeah.
I think he should, it's kind of fun, whatever he's doing, but he needs to figure out what he's going to do. I'm going, not kidding, politics.
Oh.
I think he's
Yeah.
going to end up being the emperor of
Emperor of
Jamaica, or
Jamaica,
whatever.
okay.
Whatever it is.
That
I mean,
works.
he even
Why not?
says it. You'd think he'd be embarrassed, but maybe it's a language thing. I don't know. But he goes, "Oh no, I'm so popular," and he starts talking about all the things that he could do. It sounded like Trump. I could shoot a guy and still be the
Yeah.
president. He says stuff like that.
He's one of the guys who goes out after victory and says, I want to thank my wife and my girlfriends.
Right.
And everybody's just okay with it. They're like, oh, that's all right.
Sports this morning brought to you by Bradley Johnson Attorneys. If you're facing a DUI, call 1-800-DUI-AWAY.
That's exactly what you should do, and don't wait. Don't waste time. Do it from the holding pen that they might lock you away in. It's 1-800-DUI-AWAY. That's 1-800-DUI. They'll fight hard for you. They're in Seattle. They'll meet you in Seattle, Everett, or Tacoma. So if the unfortunate happens to you and you do get a DUI, don't delay. Call 1-800-DUI-AWAY. That's 1-800-DUI-AWAY.
Well, we were talking about it a little while ago. If you missed it, you'd still have a chance to win money from KZOK. It's money for nothing. 13 times a day, you could win $1,000. You're listening each hour for the new keyword. When you hear it, you text it to 200-200, and you've got a chance to win. We will be playing you that keyword, your chance to win, at 7:10.
You know, we have these games. There's usually a new one every Monday, and then we go throughout the week. And this one, I am going to give the pleasure of getting wagon. You can win a pair of tickets to see REO Speedwagon,
Oh,
and
I
that'll be
get
happening
it.
at the EQC.
Nice.
All right, it makes perfect sense now. If I was going to say faster than speeding wagon, wagons aren't very fast. I'm confused.
I don't think you can say it makes perfect sense.
I think wagons are fast. I have fallen off some that were going really quick.
7:20 this morning.
A woman threw her husband a pretty great party that
Yeah.
had people talking. It was a balls voyage.
Balls
party.
voyage.
So that's when you get married, right?
No,
No,
not so
wasn't-
much. No. This woman threw a party for her husband's vasectomy.
that's
Oh,
nice. I
that
like
makes sense as well.
And the kids had shirts that said successful swimmers. And they had, a cake and all that stuff. And saying balls voyage. It's cute.
I like it a whole lot.
Yeah. I mean, I like when people have celebrations and holidays and stuff, even though it's not traditional.
Yeah, I got an idea for a celebration for something. I would send out invitations that read, thought of this before, so this could be wrong. I send out invitations that read, best party ever, period. And it would be for women when they go through menopause.
Oh.
Oh.
So you get to say goodbye to that part of your life. I hear it's a drag. The chicks hate it. Every one of my wives, and I've had 9 of them by now, have said, "Oh yeah, it's a drag at my back or something." Goodbye. So come to this party, period, and say goodbye to it.
Better than throwing it for your 13-year-old daughter.
Yeah, I think
When-
so.
when
she
it's-
starts.
Well, I think
Yeah.
she'd be thrilled to say goodbye to her right around 16.
You guys listening, what do you think should get its own holiday or day of celebration? Danny's throwing a menopause party. This woman is throwing a balls voyage party for her husband's vasectomy.
I was having some difficulties because as I got that out, I realized I don't know what the word menopause is. I just couldn't remember. Look, it can be just in time.
What do you think should get its own holiday or day of celebration? Call us right now, 800-252-1025, or text in 90627.
I'm going to make some assumptions here. One, a guy and his wife made a discussion about, hey, I think you should have your vasectomy. And everybody said, good, it's easy to do. They should have come to the douche man. They actually hurt a little bit, and they hurt a little bit for at least a week. But anyway, this guy did it, and his wife did the right thing, threw him a little party, a balls voyage party. That is an awesome celebration. What do you think should get its own holiday or day of celebration? 1-800-252-1025 or text 90627.
I definitely think the day that needs to have its own holiday or day of celebration is the day after the Super Bowl.
Yeah, Super Bowl Monday.
Super Bowl Monday should be a national holiday.
Everybody
not-
loves Super Bowl parties, whether you're a big football fan or not.
You ever try and get somebody on the phone Super Bowl Monday?
Yeah,
I think
forget
people
it.
are on vacation.
Right, yeah.
But everybody watches, whether you, as Paul said, whether you're a sports fan or not, everybody watches. It goes late. Everybody's tired. Everybody's out doing something. So that Monday needs to be a holiday.
If it weren't for the Super Bowl, I wouldn't know how to make a 7-layer dip. That's important, my friends.
Yes,
Yes,
it is.
Super Bowl party next holiday would be a good idea.
800-252-1025. What do you think should get its own holiday or day of celebration? Call now. Let us know. Let's talk with Yo in Olympia.
Hiya, yo.
What up, Debo?
What up with you? What do you got for us?
Well, I think, as parents of children who are getting older now, an empty nest party is what I would have. And the only 2 attendees would be me and my husband. We'd sit around the house naked, watch TV, and eat whatever we wanted out of the refrigerator.
Okay.
All right.
I like it. I like it a whole lot because you can be noisier and things like that. My kids, if I were still living with my entire family, that would be happening right now. My daughter lives alone, is getting married, and Dante is now away at school. And who knows what is happening with my ex-wife? She must be out of her mind for the first time.
Serious empty nest.
I think you're right there, yo.
800-252-1025. What do you think should get its own holiday or day of celebration? You can also text in 90627. Good morning to Rob in Louisville.
Yo, Rob.
Good morning, everybody.
Morning.
Well, I think the day that Donald Trump goes out of office, we should make it a national holiday and celebration.
Well, I
2023?
Yeah,
Is that your guess?
whatever day.
is that your
They just
guess?
do
And
it
would
every
it be
year.
2024?
Yeah, whatever. My math is off. I
Right.
can't remember how long it's
But
been.
still-
Yeah, but that would be
Whoa.
the second term.
Yeah.
That'd be
That
the
is
end of the second
depressing
term.
to even think about. But I think a lot of people do. But here's why it won't be a national holiday. He's the president. Like it or not, he'd have to sign off on the
Yeah.
"I'm an idiot" holiday.
Okay, so here's one. Maybe it's not as applicable in Washington because we mail in ballots, but for the rest of the country, nationally speaking, Election Day should be a holiday.
Yeah, a lot of people think that. And
Yeah.
I think it should be.
I think it should be.
And then everybody can go to the polls and vote. And for here in Washington, when we mailed them in, we just have a party.
For the birthdays of puppies and kittens.
Oh, yeah.
Don't you think we should have
Oh,
their friends
absolutely.
over?
Yeah.
Go somewhere, go to one of those doggy daycares or whatever they're called around here, or dogging lodge
Yeah.
and stuff, and have a party for a bunch of rovers and kitties. I think it'd be awesome.
That'd be awesome. We celebrate our dog's birthdays. We don't have a party, but we'll give him a little gift.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
The
that's
Chihuahua
cute.
gets a little outfit that he hates, and the Saint Bernard gets a giant bone, which she likes.
You've gotten used to it, have you?
Melissa in Bremerton, what should get its own holiday or day of celebration?
Somebody who's getting false teeth. Have a false teeth party.
Now, what makes it? I'm getting this. I'm guessing this is pretty close to home. You, your husband, your boyfriend, your kid. Who's getting teeth?
Nobody, but if anybody's as anal as I am about my teeth, I would have to have a false teeth party just because I'd be sad about losing my teeth.
If you're going to be all anal about your new teeth, first of all, that's not where you keep them. Nobody's going to kiss you.
Chris in Tacoma, what do you think should get its own holiday or day of celebration?
Chris, you with us, man? Or ma'am?
Chris, are you there? Let's put Chris back on hold.
People texting into the text line at 90627. The day I retire from my job should be a national holiday.
Oh, yeah, that's a great one.
There needs to be a national celebration for when Danny gets his star on the Hollywood Walk
I
of Fame.
agree with that 100%.
So the entire country should shut down for sure.
Damn right, then they might.
We also have a text saying the day after Valentine's Day for all the lonely people who didn't have anyone on Valentine's Day.
Oh, that's so sad.
It's kind of sad.
It said, hey, off topic just for one quick second. Did you know what? I was in Palm Springs. My kid goes to school a couple hours from there. Do you know what they have in Palm Springs on both sides of the street?
What?
The Palm Springs Walk of Fame.
Really?
They look exactly the same, except they'll put more stuff on it. You don't have to pick TV or radio or anything like that.
Yeah.
They would say Elvis Presley, and you'd think songs and or movie. Song, this, gospel, Bible. There's like 9 things next to his name, and there's hundreds of them, and I don't know who any of them are except Lucille Ball. So I'm going to go
how
after
do you
that.
get one?
Well, first of all, when I retire there, I'm going to give a little money to charity here and there and hope for the best.
Okay.
All right.
Good. I just
Let
thought
us
I'd let
know.
you guys know that.
We're asking, what do you think should get its own holiday or day of celebration? Tori, are you picking December 23rd because that's when a certain someone was brought into this world?
Is this Eddie?
Yes.
Oh, I was thinking of that. That was my first choice, but I think there should be a Disabled Animals Day.
Oh.
Or a
Where you
one-eyed
just
cat.
go around disabling
Disable,
animals?
yeah.
That's
And then,
Man.
once they pass away from their
Put 'em in a
womb, they put them in
freezer?
a freezer.
Yep, exactly.
Tori has a one-eyed cat.
I do.
Yeah.
Yeah, it sounds like a setup of a joke or something, but
Yeah.
no, she
No,
really
Was
yeah.
it-
does.
What
I
does
assume
a,
you
what does
adopted
a,
it.
what does a one-eyed cat do?
What?
Walks around and says, "Did you shoot my paw?" And then that joke doesn't work. You need a 3-legged dog for that, Sarah.
Paul, what do you think should get its own holiday or day of celebration?
I think we should have opening day for the opening day of baseball season. Even people who aren't like super big baseball fans everybody gets excited about opening day because there's still a chance your team's in it. You know, you're still
That's true.
excited about your team. The weather's starting to get a little bit nicer. You know, you're into springtime.
I
think
love
we
it.
should have an opening day. A
Opening
lot of
day
people
day.
already play hooky to go to opening day anyway.
No,
love it.
I just
So
thought
opening
of
day
something. How
What?
did we not? How did this just gloss over? Did somebody say it and I was fritzing? Doesn't Paul get his own holiday every night?
Yes,
Oh
I do.
my
My
gosh,
wife
he
is doing
does.
holidays.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't say every night.
No, yeah. Oh, you're over 35 now? Yeah, a couple
wouldn't
times
even,
a week.
I wouldn't even say most nights.
So holiday is the name of Paul's wife. I think holiday should have a holiday.
A holiday,
Holiday.
holiday.
The holiday. Oh,
Holiday.
in celebration of Billie Holiday.
No,
The singer.
celebration of
Yeah,
her.
the holiday. How could you be with Doc Holiday? What's wrong
like
with you
it.
guys?
Derek, tell us, what do you think should get its own holiday or day of celebration?
The anniversary of Paul Walker's death should be National Drifting Day, where everyone drifts constantly.
Yeah,
all
just not
day.
into a tree though.
Oh.
Aw.
I'm sorry, I didn't listen to you. I was drifting off. What? So, yeah, that's not bad because I didn't ever care that much about Paul Walker. I didn't think he added that much to the series or anything. But if it gets you into, well, you know, I don't know how dying makes you all that much better.
Yeah.
He was an actor. You know, he's an
It's true.
stunt
It's true.
man. Yeah,
Super
thank
handsome.
you, Paul. I appreciate that. And, you know, dying doesn't make you better than that, but drifting's a lot of fun. So the Paul Walker Death Day drift scenario, I like it, Derek.
Thanks for the calls and texts. It is now time to play the brand new game, Sweeping the Nation faster than a speeding wagon.
Faster than a speeding wagon.
You can win a pair of tickets to see REO Speedwagon
I get it.
January 18th at the Emerald Queen Casino. See, it makes perfect sense. If you want to play and you want to win, you need to start calling right now. 800-252-1025. 2.5 KZOK, where we are playing a brand new game called Faster Than a Speeding Wagon. And the prize, a pair of tickets to see REO Speedwagon January 18th at the Emerald Queen Casino. Here's how it works. To win, you'll have to correctly identify the speedy object from Danny's clue. John in Lake Taps is our contestant.
Hey, John, how the hell you doing?
Good morning. How you doing, guys?
Good morning, buddy. Do you understand the words that are coming out of my mouth?
Well, today you're quite legible, so
All
we'll see
right.
how it goes.
I'm glad that I'm quite legible. And let's see, do you also understand the rules of the game?
Well, we're going to find out.
Pay attention then, man. Here we go. It might be hard to spot this animal at its top speed, which is 75 miles per hour, and that's much faster than a speeding wagon. A mid-sized big cat. Its long legs and low body mass are a perfect combination to make it the world's fastest land animal. Can you name the animal that is faster than a speeding wagon?
Is that a cheetah?
Is it a cheetah?
That is.
It is a cheetah.
You don't have to be a cheetah to win this game.
Well, when I think of it and say don't do it, it's too silly, you shouldn't do it.
I couldn't help myself. John,
Understand.
you are fantastic. You are correct. The answer was a cheetah. You're going to the Jeep winners window in our lobby to get your pair of tickets to REO Speedwagon January 18th at the Emerald Queen Casino. This went so well, I think we should play it again tomorrow at 7:20. What do you
All
think?
right, sure.
Well, I don't think it had to go that well for us to play it again tomorrow. Paul went out of his way to write the thing.
This is true. All right, we'll do it again tomorrow at 7:20, and we'll be back in just a few moments with the big news of the day.
Yeah, that it is. It's time for the big news of the day, and it is brought to you by Goldberg Jones Divorce for Men. Call 1-800-DIVORCE or go online to goldbergjones.com.
Two women are in big trouble for their antics in Thailand. One of the women is from England, the other is Canadian, and they are facing 10 years in prison
In Thailand?
in Thailand
Yes.
for spray painting an ancient wall. Now, there is security footage.
Like to color it and think they're being cool, or to put FU on it?
They were tagging it.
Grown
and-
women?
Grown women. 23 years old.
10 years seems excessive, but I'll give me a year and make sure they stay there.
Yeah.
And Thai prisons are notoriously terrible,
Yeah.
except you can do anything you want if you have a little dough, and I mean very little dough. You can
Really?
if you had $1,000 in your pocket and could keep from getting killed, you can be king in a Thai prison. Can
Well-
you tell I've watched a couple of Locked Up Abroads?
Plus, it's a British person and a Canadian, so we don't have to care that much, right? If it was a U.S. citizen, maybe we'd say bring him back here and we'll put him in prison. But if it's a Canadian, whatever, just put him in the Thai prison for 10 years.
Yeah,
You're okay with it?
okay with Paul. Oh, some people would think, they're they're citizens of the world.
Yeah.
Like we try and stop starving of people we've never met in weird countries. So maybe Canadian chicks don't need to go to jail. But I'm with you on the fact that I don't care much. You're an idiot. Not you, Paul. Them to do that.
Me too, though, I think.
So these two girls, women, 23 years old, they're drunk. They are at an ancient wall. Like, this is something important to them and in the community. And they spray painted the wall. They said they were just drunk. They were partying, and they're really sorry. This is a 13th century gate, part of this ancient wall that forms a square around Chiang Mai's inner city. And now they are behind bars. They are facing 10 years and a $40,000 fine.
Well, aren't they terrible liars as well as being graffiti people?
What do you mean?
Well, they're drunk. Would they spray paint in their bra? Where'd they get the spray paint?
Right.
Yeah, exactly. Where did the spray paint
Yeah,
come
no,
from?
they set out to do this and maybe got drunk enough to work up the courage. Whatever it is, a 13th century wall or somewhere in the ballpark of that, if I remember correctly. Yeah. I mean, 10 years is crazy, but a year is okay. And that's usually the way that will go.
Yep.
They'll release them to the American consulate within the first year.
Or the Canadian consulate.
Same thing.
And did the Canadians say sorry or sorry?
They will say somewhere in the middle between those two. They are currently talking with the Thai officials to try to figure out what to do. Chances are they're just going to get the fine, but they are facing 10 years.
Yeah, well, they like we all said, they shouldn't get it. Maybe it'll come down to just monetary. Money talks there.
Yeah.
Money talks everywhere.
A 12-pound chunk of the moon that fell to Earth as a lunar meteorite has been sold at auction for over $600,000.
Wow. Do you want to see mine?
Do I want to see
Mine's
a
about
moon?
the same size, I think, about 12 pounds,
Your
maybe
meteor?
10 pounds. Yeah.
Yeah, show it to us.
Yeah, well, no, come over to my house later. I'll need like an hour to go to the river and get a rock.
Right.
Who's doing this?
This meteorite is composed of 6 fragments that fit together like a puzzle.
Yeah.
This was found in Mauritania in northwest Africa. It is considered the most significant lunar meteorite ever found because of its large size, and it has a partial fusion crust.
Oh, of course it does.
That was caused by the tremendous heat that sears the rock as it falls to Earth.
Yeah, in Mauritania. One time shopped in Lusitania, but it didn't work out that way. Matter of fact, they torpedoed my boat.
Prince Harry
That's a
and
historical joke, by the way. If you're going, what the hell's he talking about?
Prince Harry and Meghan Markle apparently have some interesting decisions to make when it comes to their firstborn child. A lot of people have been speculating about this. A lot of people, kind of talking about this for just because reasons.
Yeah, it's fun.
Could their child be president?
I think so.
Wait, hang on. That's because that's a really interesting prospect, don't you think? Well, you said it, so it's got to be interesting.
Yeah.
Well, the baby would be born to an American mom,
Yeah.
which would make it, if they fill out the proper paperwork, an American baby, wherever it's born. So you don't have to be born in America to be president. You have to be born American.
And it doesn't have to be the mom, right? It could be either parent, I
Either
would
parent.
think. Yeah.
Sure.
It goes to the mom. Typically, they say that it goes through the maternal line.
To do what? To be royal, but not to be an American
Not to be
citizen.
a U.S. citizen.
For this baby to be born American, it has to go through mom because mom is the only American.
Right,
Right.
but if
This
Harry
baby.
were an American, then that would still work. You don't need to be a female American. Any American will do.
You still have. I'm not positive on that because Ted Cruz, his father was Cuban, mom was American, baby born in Canada.
Yeah.
Ted Cruz is American. So when you give birth, it depends on where you are, right? So if Meghan Markle is in America and the baby's born, then it's fine.
They're automatically an American citizen.
Yes.
Yeah, but there's not a chance in the world that'll happen.
I find it unlikely the
yeah,
baby
that
will
won't
be
happen.
born here.
Won't happen.
However, if they fill out the proper paperwork, Meghan Markle, still American, baby can be American, therefore could be
Well,
president.
It can be dual citizenship, right?
Yes,
it can't
it could
just go,
also be dual.
I'm an American. Now, especially with the royals as your in-laws.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe they'd let her do this. Because I know a couple people with dual citizenship.
Mm-hmm.
You actually told me you have a friend Scottish or something with a Scottish passport as well?
I have several friends who are dual.
I don't even have several friends. But anyway, so yeah, I don't know, but this interesting idea. I like the idea.
Yeah. So the baby could be president as long as they fill out the proper paperwork.
Because the queen will be long dead, and she's the one that's going to give the, whine about this. I like it, and I'd vote for him.
And the baby, I mean, doesn't have a good shot, but is somewhere in the line of being royalty, right? Seventh?
No, he's
Seventh
got no.
in line for the
What
British
a
throne.
bus crash that would have to be to make that kid possible king.
A flu epidemic?
Yeah, no, it's not going to work. The Black Plague makes a return. No, I don't think so.
I mean, it's so unlikely, but I really hope they do fill out the proper paperwork because
Yeah.
it is just a fun theory.
I mean, fairly unlikely that baby's going to run for and win the presidency
Yes.
as well, but it's still fun to
Also,
talk about.
People do dual citizenship out of England all the time because the tax system there is so terrible.
Mm-hmm.
That's why people, like French people as well, run off to Monaco and Russia and become citizens there or dual citizens so they can skip taxes. I think it's unfair, but if I had the British tax system, I might do it.
Yeah.
Well, Saturday night, we saw a Game 7 in the baseball playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
The winner was going to go to the World Series.
Was?
Is going to the World
okay.
Series.
Scared me.
World Series happens tomorrow.
Give me back my 50 trillion Zimbabwean dollars.
They can't go.
5:09 start time on Fox. It was a heartbreaker for Milwaukee fans.
Yeah, including me.
Brewers fans. They lost to the Dodgers 5-1. Heartbreaking for any team to lose, but more so for Milwaukee because they have never won a World Series.
Oh, it's because they're a terrible state and they have no talent.
They
Or
really
city.
had a great team. I was rooting for them. Dodgers, they haven't won in many years, but yes, they are headed to their second straight World Series. They have won in the past, but it turns out it is not just Milwaukee Brewers who have not won a World Series.
Wow, the Mariners have not won a World Series.
Never?
Correct.
No, I don't think they've ever appeared in a World Series.
The Mariners have not only never appeared in with a record 116 wins, but then lost to the Yankees in the ALCS in 5 games. So the Mariners do have the biggest streak. It is a bit depressing, but the Mariners came to be in 1977, have never even appeared in a World Series. The Nationals, they were founded in 2005. They have never been to the World Series, not even when they were the Montreal Expos that were founded in 1969. The Rays, 1998. The Rockies, 1993.
The Rays are a team.
Yeah.
From where?
Tampa Bay Rays.
Tampa Bay Rays.
The Rays.
Texas
it's
Rangers.
all made up of guys named Ray.
Yeah, bro, that's exactly it.
That's it. They don't win a lot, but it's fun to watch them.
The Texas Rangers, formed in 1972, never won a World Series. The Brewers, 1970, and the San Diego Padres.
It's funny. I don't think of teams especially in baseball. I don't think of them starting in 1970. I think, they started with Abner Doubleday, right?
Right.
Back in the day.
All baseball teams are 100
1913.
years old or more. They move around, but they're all been there for, no, apparently not. 1970. These shoes are from 1970.
There is what appears to be a bit of a correlation. The newer teams don't have as many World Series.
Yeah, but if you say we've been playing for 102 years and we have a World Series win, it's kind of the same as the guy who started in 77 and doesn't have any.
Yep. Well, the World Series, as I said, gets underway tomorrow, 5:09 start time on Fox, and it is the Dodgers and the Red Sox. The Red Sox are a narrow favorite to win.
I was going to growl, but I forgot I'm happy. Because to be honest, I don't care about the Dodgers at all. I care about beating Paul.
There you go. And you did. You can beat him senseless. That is the big news of the day, which is brought to you by Goldberg Jones. Divorce for Men, 1-800-DIVORCE, or online, goldbergjones.com.
It may be the end of the big news, but it most certainly is not the end of the big entertainment coming right up. It's business news with Jim the Flagger.
And now, business news from Jim the Flagger.
The cryptocurrency market continues its volatility. Ripple, the white-hot cryptocurrency that had more than doubled in the past week, fell 39% from its all-time high. And rival Bitcoin was trading up 11%. If this all sounds like total gibberish to you, well, there's a good reason. Nobody really knows what any of this crap actually means. Bitcoin? Has anybody ever even seen a Bitcoin?
No.
No, because it doesn't exist.
Can you ever touch a Bitcoin?
No, nobody's ever touched a
Crazy
Bitcoin.
Jim the Flagger.
Well, you are just a few minutes away from having a chance to win $1,000 from KZOK. It's money for nothing today. Here's how it works. You are listening for the new hourly keyword. When you hear it, you text that word to 200-200, and you have got a chance to win. It is as easy as that. Your next chance to win money for nothing, $1,000, happens at 8:10.
All right, very cool. Hey, pay attention to this because I think it's really funny, and I want you to call. Here's the deal. Amy sent out a text, nice and normal text. And I went over to look at said text on her phone, and she looked for Klempt or whatever that word is. And I said, what? She says, look at it, look at it, look at it, look at it. So I looked at it and it said, I think the show has gotten much better since they all went to Jamaica. What do you think? And I said, yeah. She goes, look at it at the bottom. The bottom says, I have no idea. I said, this is fine. What's the matter? She goes, look who that is. And it's Sean Cassidy. She has sent that to Sean Cassidy, who, by the way, has shows. So he doesn't know that she didn't mean that. And they're friends. She has a huge crush on him. I don't think he knows that. But He actually called his mother Academy Award-winning actress Shirley Jones because she has a show. Mom, did your show get better since you? No. Let's ask Patrick, Tony Award-winning Patrick Cassidy.
Yeah.
She's got so much talent trying to figure out. It was Housewives of Beverly Hills or some such thing. So that's my question to you guys out there. Have you ever sent the text to the wrong person and had something good, bad, or indifferent, something funny, something tragic? And I will accept emails on this too. It seems like the same technology.
Sure, yeah.
And Paul, you mentioned a phone call.
Yeah, sometimes you get a wrong number phone call that turns into an adventure.
I've met women, or not women. I've met one woman on a phone thing. So, okay, if you ever sent a text, email, or call to the wrong person, or had it come to you, and it turned out really funny and or bad, give us a call right now, 1-800-252-1025. I want to hear about it, or text 90627. So my lovely bride, Amy, sent a text. She thought she was sending, I think, to her friend Stacy. They said, I think the show's better now, don't you? But she sent it to Sean Cassidy, which cracks me up. So if you ever had the wrong number, wrong text, wrong email, whatever it is, we would love to hear about it at 1-800-252-1025. Give us a call right now, or you can text 90627. Let's start with Jody from South Bay. Hiya, Jody.
Hello.
How you doing?
Pretty good.
All right, so what's the deal now? Can you, well, you don't have to beat, but did you make a wrong phone call?
Well, no. I was learning how to do Facebook for the first time, and so anyhow, somebody had asked me, so how's your husband's father doing? And I wrote out, oh, he's ornery as ever. But somehow it came out with the H in front of it.
My father-in-law is horny as ever.
Yeah.
Wow, God bless him. He's on the mend.
Yeah. 800-252-1025, asking if you have sent the wrong text, received the wrong text, emails. It happens all the time. There was a really...
happens to me. I sent a picture of my you-know-what
Yeah.
to Paul.
Yes.
I was fairly sorry about that.
Yeah, actually, texts. I think I've gotten texts from both Sarah and Tori saying, you know, I love you, sweetheart, or
Yep.
something like that was intended to their significant other.
Yep.
And then the picture of Danny's junk I got, I think, was intended to be sent to me.
Yeah,
I don't
to
think
you.
that
No,
was accidental. I think that was
for
full
you,
on.
my man.
There's
Just
a
comparison.
woman who just made news for getting a wrong text. So this is exactly what you're talking about, Danny.
Good.
She got a text and it said, Papa's funeral is on Tuesday. Hope you can make it. Here's the directions and everything. And she writes back, you know, I don't think this is for the right person. And they're like, oh, thanks. I must have gotten the number wrong. And the woman said, well, I'd love to come pay my respects anyway.
Oh, wow.
She went to the funeral.
I remember this story. Yeah, that was a big story.
I remember one, too, I think last Thanksgiving, where there was a wrong
Yep.
text, and then the kid, the teenager that was texting with the elderly woman ended up going and having Thanksgiving at her house.
right.
Her house.
Yeah.
So this can go right. I met a girl on a grave, but I was a teenager, and you know, it was not that. It didn't seem that weird. Looking back at it now, it seems weirder that the girl said, "Yeah, I'll go out with you, stranger on the other end of this phone."
Yeah, right.
So what happened? You called and it was the wrong number, and
Yeah, or
she sounded
she
cute?
called me and it was the wrong number. But
Yeah.
whatever it is, I
Yeah.
turned on the charm by saying, "Hey man, I used to be on TV. Want to go out?" And she said, "Yeah."
Were you the
No,
sender?
there's no Steve here, but
Were you the sender or the recipient of the wrong text, email, or phone call? That's the question we're asking at 800-252-1025. Good morning, Mike in Kingston.
Hey, Mike.
Good morning.
Morning. So what do you got
How's it
for us?
going?
It's all going good. What do you got? Did you text someone? Did you get a text, an email?
Yeah, my buddy Rory sent me a text of this little guy with a red bush and a little heart on, and he said, "Hey, I saw your picture floating around the internet. I thought you want to know."
Yeah.
It was April Fool's Day, and so I texted it to a couple of my other buddies, and I accidentally somehow, I don't know how, but I sent it to my girlfriend's mom on accident.
You know, that's actually, I do things on purpose and pretend they're an accident. One of my favorite things, I don't do this anymore, but I did it still recently. I just think it's a new culture today and could be dangerous. I like to go, or I used to like to go up to women in the store and either say something to them, usually the shopping, like the store, the grocery store, or even give them a little hug. And then when they turn around and go, oh my God, I'm so sorry. I thought you were my wife. I just always thought that was funny. And then I think somebody's going to shoot me eventually.
Yeah,
That's
I'm
why I
pretty sure
stopped
that's
that
called
joke.
assault.
It's not assault. I don't touch them there.
It's pretty amazing how many times I have texted Paul with texts meant for Matt.
Yeah.
Right.
Normally, like, can you pick this up from the store on your way home? But
Yeah.
a couple of times it's like, love you, babe.
Yeah.
I got this one from Sarah that I'm sure is meant for Matt. It was, hey, that's the best pumpkin pie ever. Maybe I should take some to my friends at work.
That didn't happen.
No, it didn't happen.
Dave in Shelton, were you the sender or recipient of a wrong person text or email?
I was the recipient. Someone texted me and wanted to know where the weed and the bong was at. This was back before weed was legalized, so I.
Yeah, now that it's legal, Dave can say he knows where it is.
He knows where it's- Did you guys notice that, or I don't know if you were big pot smokers when you were young? For the longest time, like pot, you were terrified. You had pot on. You're like that song "Riding Dirty." You were like that. If you had a joint in your pocket, and you even saw the police. And when I was 19, so it's 81 maybe. You're panicking over a pot
Really?
reference. Oh yeah, like
wow.
and they'll take you to jail, and just boom, that's over.
Kathy in Seattle, were you the sender or recipient of a wrong person text or email?
Hello.
Hello,
Hi.
Kathy.
Hey.
Hey, what do you got for us?
Oh, I went to my youngest daughter's birthday party, and I had this thing on my keychain that looks like a sex toy, but it's not a sex toy. It's a woman's weapon. If you're walking in a parking lot, you just carry it, and you can jab somebody. But the girls, they'll text each other, like, oh, look at mom's sex toy. And I'm going, it's not a sex toy, it's a weapon. But they're texting each other.
Well, a decent sex toy is, in fact, a weapon, if you ask me. But the thing is, who do you hang around with? I know exactly what she's talking about. The guy that invented his name's Tak Kubota, a Japanese dude, and it's called a Kubatsan. And it may look like a lot of things, but a sex toy is not one of them.
Well, so what happened, Kathy?
So Amanda is thinking that she's texting Scott, her brother-in-law, who's there at the birthday party, and she says, what about mom's sex toy? But really, she texts Scott, the guy she's been training in work for. He's a new employee.
Whoops.
I got to tell you, Kathy, when I was mentioning this on the microphone and giving out the 1-800-252-1025, this is what I heard in my head, this particular call.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. And then they saw hey, I love your sex toy. Oh, it's my dad.
Yeah. Oh, it's my coworker. Rob in Louisville, did you send or receive a wrong text?
Oh, boy, sure did. I've got a boss named Dale and a buddy named Dave. And I sent my buddy Dave a text saying, I can't deal with this jerk no more. Is your company doing any hiring?
Oh,
no.
Yes, I did. Yes, I did. But I got a raise out of it.
Did you get a raise from the guy, or did you get a raise from the new job?
From my boss. He actually gave me a raise. We laughed
wow.
about it, but yeah.
You got lucky
I'd
there,
have played
buddy.
that off. I could have gotten away with it. If I said, if I sent one to Sarah that said Paul's an ass,
Yeah.
I could probably pull that. And let's say it was something even bigger than that was offensive to you. I think I could get out of it. Couldn't you get out of it?
Yeah, you
No.
could say, yeah, I'm just messing with you, man.
messing with
So,
you.
so you got that? Did you know it was for me?
Yeah, that's happened to me a couple of times, but a coworker that I worked with was mad at me and did something like that. Oh, Sarah's such an ass. But in saying the word Sarah in his mind, he texted it to me.
Oh,
And-
because that's top of mind. That's what you're thinking of
Yes.
that person.
Yeah.
So when you're trash mouthing somebody, you think of them and therefore put them either in the email box or in the text
Yeah.
area, and you're like, and then you send it to the wrong person.
Yeah, I would tell you this, and this is your point exactly. This is a missed phone call. I was speed dialing or whatever. My friend Richard Lawrence, he's a very good friend of mine, probably my best friend. And the guy answers the phone, and he's hysterical and crazy. And my friend Richard's like 75 years old with a bum knee. He's not yelling. He somehow dialed that comedian Richard Lewis.
Oh.
He wants to tell me, what the hell? What's the deal? You're from hell, or whatever that is that he says. That was really a bad phone call.
Bob in Renton, did you receive or send the text to the wrong person?
Oh, this is classic. This is my wife. She needs to put her glasses on and look at her text before she sends it. She sends a message to a friend of hers, I'm leaving now. But what she did was she ended up sending it to her entire contact list, and the correct spell check says, I'm lesbian now.
Oh my gosh.
I hear that'll happen, though.
And then try explaining that one away.
One of my more, and I don't do it because it's hard. Paul, with the contest you do, you'd be able to figure out how to do this. What I like to do is send a text with things that are obviously autocorrect. That's not what I meant to see. And look at it and go, well, he didn't mean this. But still makes a cohesive story. So they'll read it and talk about it. Go, are you sure he didn't know that there was a mouse? No, there's no mouse. I meant your house. I love it.
Paul, has this happened to you?
Yeah, I got an email once from my insurance company. It was my health insurance provided through my work. And I got an email with the steps that I need to go through if I want to maintain my health insurance now that I no longer work there. Now that I've been let go by my employer, here are the steps. But I didn't know that I had been let go by my employer. So I contacted my boss, and he, in a panic, contacts HR. And it turns out that whatever process they go through to sever from an employee, my name came up at the corporate level instead of a different name. That's their story anyway, is that we didn't mean to fire you, that the insurance company, the benefits provider, somehow got your name instead of Steve's name. Because me and Steve have very similar names.
What a panic.
I just tried to go into the lobby, and you know, you do your security thing, and it unlocks the door. So it opens to the first one. It wouldn't let me into the rest of the building, and I'm just going,
you're fired.
I'm fired.
I think that every time.
I've been at this a really long, and I get fired.
I have that issue, but even worse when you get official paperwork saying, here's what you do now that you no longer work there.
Thanks for the calls and texts, everybody. We'll be back in just a couple of minutes with the news. Three people were injured and one is dead after a deadly shooting at the New World VIP Lounge in Lakewood yesterday. Multiple police units arrived at this scene on South Tacoma Way in Lakewood at 1:25 Saturday night into Sunday morning. They were able to help three victims who had gunshot wounds. They were transported to the hospital. One of those victims died from his injuries. A fourth victim was taken to the hospital by friends. Now the remaining three are expected to recover, and the search for the gunman is on.
Sounds a lot like the old world at the new world, to be honest with you. Nothing sounds new about that. What would be new, let me just try this out. What would be new is if the patrons at nightclubs late at night didn't shoot each other. And then you go, wow, and we'd even report it. So we'd report that for you. You could say, what's the name of this place?
New World VIP Lounge.
Yeah, here we have a report from the New World VIP Lounge right here. Oh, stop the presses. Nobody's shot. Back to you in the studio.
State health officials are investigating 6 cases of Salmonella linked to English cucumbers sold at Costco. Cases of the Salmonella poisoning have been reported in King, Snohomish, Thurston, Yakima, and Pierce counties. 5 of the 6 people impacted had reported eating English cucumbers from Costco stores.
Are they a different thing than an American cucumber, or are they just from England?
They're longer and skinnier.
Yeah. I didn't think, I swear, I did not know that England exported any kind of food. They're a tiny little island. And
They're
we're
not exported.
kind of big.
You grow them here.
Yeah, I bet
it's
you grow them. You grow them where we grow American cucumbers in Mexico.
Right, exactly.
Now, if you have these cucumbers, if you bought an English cucumber from Costco, throw it away, is what officials are recommending. You do not want to get the salmonella.
No. So what are the odds that my French beret I'm wearing was made in Thailand?
They're pretty good.
I'm
or
very
Indonesia,
upset
maybe.
by all of this. Look at my Nikes. They're crying.
Saudi Arabia has reportedly finally admitted Jamal Khashoggi is dead, but a new development is adding to suspicion about the Saudis' shifting narrative with the death of this Washington Post reporter. There is now a surveillance video that shows a body double, one of the 15 suspects in this man's death, coming out of the Saudi Arabian consulate in Istanbul dressed in his clothing.
So they killed him and then put his clothes on.
Yes.
So let's see what kind of clues we can gain. They didn't shoot him in the heart.
Or he wasn't clothed when they did it.
Oh, I didn't even think about that.
Yeah.
Because if they knew this guy, this body double, and I couldn't tell from the video, and I know none of us know this question, but Khashoggi seems really tall in the videos, like very tall. It wouldn't be easy to body double that guy. I certainly couldn't do it.
Now, this man is seen several hours after wearing his clothing, walking out, and there are also reports saying that they believe the death was from a chokehold. And
is this part of the story where they say he died? You know, there was a fist fight.
There was a fight to stop him from screaming out. Somebody put him in a chokehold, and chokeholds are very dangerous.
Yes, they are. I remember when I was a younger man, somebody got killed in one by a policeman. An African American killed a cop, killed an African American with a chokehold. And he said it was an accident. I didn't mean to. And the chief of police said, Well, I believe that African Americans may have different windpipe construction than normal people.
Oh, gosh.
And the second he said that, he was rightly so out of a job. That was, what's his face, Daryl.
Well, I mean, you can't even do chokeholds if you're the police anymore because they're just too dangerous.
Right. You shouldn't. They, in a pinch, they do. Remember? That was a chokehold.
Yeah, they're not supposed to, though.
Right. They're not supposed to.
6 people were shot at a laundromat near the football stadium in Jacksonville yesterday. The Jacksonville Sheriff's Office says 6 adults were shot, 3 in critical condition. This was just a short ways away from where the Jaguars were playing the Texans. 5 of the victims were men, 1 of the victims female, and the age range was from 20 to 70, and no suspects are in custody. Authorities are trying to figure out if this was a gang-related shooting in Florida.
Well, at least we know those folks were tidy. That's the important thing there, I think. Doing the laundry, they're cleaning up for them. They're taking care of themselves.
An FDA panel just a few days ago has given preliminary approval to a new kind of opioid for pain that is 5 to 10 times more potent than fentanyl.
Okay, I kind of 5 to 10 times want that.
Really?
Yeah, sure. I mean, I try and by breaking it into smaller pieces before I try it. But yeah.
Because the thing we hear about fentanyl is, a cop opens up a door that has fentanyl in it and is passing out from it.
Right.
And you want something 5 to 10 times stronger than that.
Yes. I want to not even bother to have to open the door. Just walk by.
Right.
The Drug Advisory Committee voted 10-3 to approve this drug, sufentanil, which will be marketed as Disuvia.
I think it's so fentanyl. Man, this stuff is so fentanyl.
Very nice. And Paul just was saying, Paul's back went out on him, and he went to the doctor, and it's a pretty big deal.
Yeah.
And they gave you exactly 5 muscle relaxers and 0 painkillers.
Right. And I was in excruciating
for a grown man
pain.
in excruciating pain. That's the way of the world because other people abuse him. Paul has to walk around in pain.
I know.
And not have extra drugs for his friends.
I had to go to 5 different ERs that day just to take care of my pain.
According to this drug committee, Disuvia is a treatment in a medically supervised setting for adults experiencing moderate to severe acute pain.
Yeah, drug dealers really care about that classification. They're going to say, "Oh no, this is only for a medical setting. I'm not going to get this stuff out on the street."
Sufentanil is a synthetic opioid that will be used for IV and epidural anesthesia.
Yeah.
It is a pill that dissolves under the tongue. It is designed for rapid pain relief. It can take as little as 15 minutes and last for 3 hours. And it will be a single-dose, pre-filled disposable packaging, which they say will prevent dosing errors and misuse.
Very odd that that's going to be out there. You know what seemed like a great drug for actually its real purpose, not to take, not to abuse? And I would have never known of it until it killed Michael Jackson, that propofol stuff.
Yeah.
That apparently you put it in your arm, boom, you're out like a light. You take it out of your arm, you wake up like nothing happened. Like no drugs do that. You wake up like you've been drugged.
Yeah.
Yeah, but apparently it can go wrong.
I forget what the one was that I got when I broke the bones in my back, and it was an injection, and they're like, lay down, and then they inject it into my buttocks, and then I felt no pain.
Yeah.
It begins with a D. I can't remember the name of it. It's not Dramamine. But it's liquid form, and it's super, super hard to get. It's only in, like, the emergency room.
Yeah.
Man, that stuff felt good. I'm like, I have broken bones in my back, and I have no pain. You guys don't know what the name of it is?
I don't know what it is.
No. Dilaudid?
Dilaudid.
I think it was Dilaudid.
That's a good one. Synthetic morphine.
Ugh.
Not that I know.
Well, in Canada, the people up there were so excited about getting their hands on legal recreational marijuana to the point where they are experiencing a shortage.
Well, you answered the how excited are they question without giving us a chance.
Sorry. Canadians are so excited about weed.
How excited are they?
Canada's running out.
What has it been, a week? And they're out of pot?
Yep.
Wow.
That's some smoking of the weed.
And they can't get it from us, right? We can't cross the border.
Nope. So Wednesday.
It's got to take a while to grow new pot.
Right.
Wednesday is when it became legal in Canada, the second country in the world to make it legal, first industrialized nation. And
what's the other one?
Uruguay.
Oh, that's right. And they legalized everything, right?
I don't know if that's true or if it's just decriminalized, but it is full-on legal to have weed in Uruguay. And in Canada, they knew this was happening. It's been in the works for years. Medical marijuana has been legal for almost 20 years, and yet they are running out.
Wow, they did not prepare as well as they normally do.
They had to call police to help with the stores. The lines were down the street, and then they ran out.
Can't they just buy some from us? Aren't we smoochy buddies now with Trudeau?
No, because then how do you tax it? How do you is that going to be part of this whole new NAFTA agreement?
And they said it's illegal for it to cross borders.
Yeah, absolutely. You'd have to strike a deal with the people that are in charge.
Someone has stolen a giant inflatable colon used to teach about the dangers of colon cancer.
It used to be a regular size colon, and then it turned 50.
The University of Kansas Cancer Center said in a news release, somebody stole our giant inflatable colon. Their surgical oncologist says colon cancer is hard enough for many to talk about, and this giant inflatable colon is a good conversation starter.
I bet nobody's giggling or smirking when you're talking about it from inside a giant inflatable colon.
You got to take that seriously.
I actually went inside a giant inflatable colon.
Is that right?
Did you return the favor?
At the Elysian Pumpkin Beer Festival that they have every year at the Seattle Center.
Yeah.
Last year, it's always Fred Hutch, but last year it was the colon cancer department of Fred Hutch, and so they had a giant inflatable colon, and you don't realize it right away, and you go inside, you look around, you're like, oh, I know where I am. It's kind of weird.
It's kind of weird.
Well, this is a 150-pound, 10-foot-long colon valued at $4,000, and they're trying to figure out who the heck stole it and why.
Yeah, well, I don't know what you can do with it, although you can write messages on it and then fill it with helium and send it on its way and have a big colon land on your house. Weighs twice as much as the semicolon they were using earlier.
On the sad part of this, they say 1 in 20 people will be diagnosed with colorectal cancer.
Just because somebody stole that inflatable colon?
Yes.
That guy I was just telling you about, like one of my best friends, Richard Lawrence.
Yeah.
He had it and he had his colon removed. And the side effects are serious for men.
Yeah. That's terrible. Security cameras were rolling at a Chinese train station when a curious toddler climbed onto the baggage belt and went through the X-ray scanner. Now, it's commonplace to have X-ray machines at the train stations in China. It is not commonplace to let your kid go through them.
Yeah, it's super not commonplace for the other guy at the end to say, oh, man, I think you have a tumor.
Oh. This little boy, you can see the images of him being X-rayed by the machine, and officials say he was not injured. I'm wondering if there's some long-term ramifications.
So what do the X-rays do? They X-ray your bag, or you walk through? Remember, I was talking about that the other day with the thing from Total Recall. That, that's how they tell if you have any kind of weapon. I dug it, and we're starting to invent that. Is that what they're doing there?
No, this is an X-ray machine like the airport.
Okay.
And the kid climbed onto the belt, and nobody noticed. Where's little Steve? I'm sure that's what he's called in China.
Yeah.
And
The guy standing there operating the machine who said, oh, no, it didn't harm the kid at all, is wearing a lead vest and a metal helmet, a face mask.
And a sad, very strange story out of Florida. I mean, how amazing does it sound if it's, say, 80 degrees outside and the wind is blowing and you decide to go lay in the hammock and read a book?
Yeah, sounds great.
Sounds fantastic. Until the wind picks up and a palm tree crashes on you and smushes you and you don't make it.
Was it Mary?
It was not Mary.
Because that's the only person I know who continually gets hit by trees.
Police said the death is not suspicious. It's like, right? Or is
Yeah, it's Wednesday.
Okay. Week from Wednesday, Halloween. And some people are already starting to wonder about their costumes. Some people have their costumes planned. And each year, there is a study done to find out the most popular costumes of the year. And it's based on what people have been searching on Google. Well, I'm willing to bet neither Paul nor Danny could guess the most popular costume of the year this year.
Hillary Clinton.
No.
Zombie.
No.
Pirate.
Fortnite.
Oh.
You dress like you're 2 weeks?
Yep.
I don't even understand.
Derek, you're the only one playing Fortnite. What would this costume look like?
Well, Tori and I were at a Halloween store yesterday, so with Fortnite, they had a gigantic section, and I guess what it is you can buy different costumes in the game. So now they're just replicating those costumes into actual real-life costumes.
Oh.
Like, there was like a T-Rex and like a spaceman.
That actually makes
weird.
perfect sense now.
Yeah, but it is weird.
Yeah.
Well, it's so popular.
I would never be a T-Rex, and I don't mean the singer. Those little stupid arms. How do you do anything? I was at the Cabazon Dinosaurs. It's a tourist attraction on the way to my son's school on, I guess, Saturday. And I looked up at the giant life-size T-Rex and those crazy eyes. Like, how did it do any of the stuff that it wanted to do? It's almost like God played a trick on it, and that's why he instincted it.
So
Extincted it.
Fortnite, the most popular costume of the year at second, Spider-Man, Unicorn, Pirate, Rabbit, and Princess.
Where the hell's Trump?
Nobody wants to be Trump this year.
These must just be kids' costumes, too.
Well, I don't think.
I mean, most of the people dressing up are kids, but this isn't. I don't know that this includes adult costumes. I think it's just kids.
I don't think anyone's gonna. Well, I don't know how many kids are dressing as Harley Quinn, but I don't know.
Kids with really loose moms and dads.
Yeah.
That's who.
Trump was a big costume last year.
Yeah.
You know, like after Obama was president for a year or two, it was no big deal anymore.
Well, I would never be comfortable wearing a Obama costume.
No.
Can you? Are you
No, I
kidding?
don't
White
think
people,
so.
is that even cool?
I don't think so.
Yeah, I don't think so either. But I would wear a Trump costume, no problem. But I would expect to get hit in the face a couple times during my trick-or-treating thing.
A small airplane casually landed on I-8 in Southern California yesterday. This is in El Cajon in San Diego County.
I bet it wasn't casual for everybody. Somebody was freaking out.
The video is really wild. Okay, so you know a freeway has two directions.
Yeah.
And then in the middle, there is a little bit of a divider, like a lawn divider, as opposed to the Jersey barrier.
It wasn't a concrete wall there. There
Right.
was just a strip of grass.
Yep. And somebody started shooting video as soon as the plane started coming down. They're like, oh my gosh, Becky. They started filming video. The plane then lands between the moving cars and the freeway. Its wings don't hit the power lines. It doesn't hit anything it's not supposed to. It's
Wow.
just on the ground. And people who are watching this say they saw the pilot and the co-pilot in the plane, and they looked pretty chill, despite the fact they had lost power and had to make an emergency landing.
Yeah, I'm confident though. If you're looking at the pilot and he's got his hands on the wheel or stick, I guess they call it, and he's going, "Ah!" I don't think he's going to make it. I think you have to be chill to land a plane
Yeah.
on the freeway.
However, if that was me, I'd be going, ah, or whatever you just did.
That's what I did. Most exactly.
Stephen Hawking was a cosmic visionary, a figure of inspiration, and a global celebrity. Now, some of his possessions, the late physicist's possessions, are going up for auction, including his wheelchair.
Oh, that's gross. Oh, I want his computer. We are doing money for nothing at KZOK call.
That would be awesome.
That would be awesome.
Also up for grabs
People
is
would say, man, that Danny Bonaducci really has a distinct voice.
Yeah, totally. I barely recognize him otherwise.
Also up for grabs is a script from one of his appearances on The Simpsons. You could get his doctoral thesis on origins of the universe and some of his other scientific papers. Now, the wheelchair is expected to go for, let's see, about $20,000.
No.
Does not seem like enough.
Probably what it would be to buy that thing.
Yeah, but it was his. I wonder if it's like osmosis and you'd get smarter just sitting in it.
I don't know everything.
I don't think osmosis works that way. It doesn't come through that end, right?
Well, you know,
I don't think so.
Who knows?
As
I
we
just
said-
went into the bathroom down there and went, oh, man, osmosis? That's so weird.
By the way, with that wheelchair, he says he once ran over Prince Charles's toes, but wished he had done the same to Margaret Thatcher.
Well, that's cool.
As we said, Halloween is next Wednesday, so just over a week. And there are already holiday items on the shelves. So you
Like
kinda-
Christmas stuff?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been seeing that everywhere. Here's our Halloween section, and right next to it is our Christmas section.
Too soon. One of the things that will be available is kind of cool.
Too soon. He died 2,000 years ago.
Sugar Cookie Toast Crunch, the General Mills cereal. This is an offshoot of the original Cinnamon Toast Crunch, but it tastes like a sugar cookie.
Yeah, we may have that in my house right now.
Really?
Yeah,
Yeah.
because my wife doesn't love me. She goes like, I'd say, would you please at least hide that kind of stuff? And she, she puts like a grain of rice in front of it or something. Like, I can't see it. I'm going to eat that right out of the box. And by the way, I'm not going to roll up that wax paper and put one of your weird clamps on it when I'm done.
Who does that?
She does it.
Oh.
Every single one of our boxes has it's an actual hand. It's a hand clip.
So the fact that your wife does not want your food to get stale bothers you.
Yeah. Well, I don't care what her motive is. Just stop doing it.
All right, that was the news, and there is still a lot more to come. We just found out about a very cool concert announcement. We'll tell you about that in music news, plus an announcement from Paul McCartney.
Yay.
We've got all the latest entertainment and sports news next as well. Stay here. Well, here it is just a few minutes after 9 o'clock, and we just found out about a big concert announcement.
Oh, right.
Jeff Lynne's ELO ready to hit the road for their biggest North American tour since 1981. And yes, a stop is in order at the Tacoma Dome.
Wow. Nice. So now ELO has always been named ELO. Is this the actual band, or is this one of those he can't call it ELO, so it's Jeff Lynne's ELO experience?
Tori, do you remember how to set the record straight on this?
I believe it is Jeff Lynne. It's basically just Jeff Lynne.
And no one else from the former ELO?
No, I don't believe so. I can double check that, though.
So, no offense, this is just the information we got. It's about a third of a huge concert announcement.
Well, it's Electric Light Orchestra, and he was the mastermind behind ELO.
I don't think there's another band touring
Correct.
as ELO, but he's the remaining founding member.
They'll be playing the Tacoma Dome on June 29th. Huge show, super exciting. Tickets go on sale next Monday, 10 a.m. through Ticketmaster, and KZOK will have a chance for you to win them before you can buy them.
I love when we do that.
Because this Friday is an ELO Free Concert Friday.
Free Concert Friday.
ELO, the Tacoma Dome, June 29th.
Jeff Lynne plays everywhere and with everyone. He's so good about that. I believe, is he in, Toria, as long as you're answering questions, is he in Ringo Starr's All-Star Band?
I believe so, yeah.
I think he is right up there, and right up there in front. A couple of good guys in that, but I've also seen him like at the Grammys and stuff playing with people. Then I saw him at the Country Music Awards playing with people. That guy's all over the place.
Paul McCartney has just announced the release of 2 Wings archive packages, including an appearance of a long-hidden TV movie that was never shown. The band's first 2 albums, Wildlife and Red Rose Speedway, have been expanded to limited deluxe editions. And then this will be coming out on December 7th. The next item that is of interest to Paul McCartney fans, the Bruce McMouse Show.
Uh-oh.
And it's based around live footage from Wings' 1972 European tour. The film featured an animated family of mice that interacted with the artists in the style of Disney's Mary Poppins.
Oh, this sounds like crap to me.
And
like the little birdies that would land on her head and stuff. Yeah, all right.
Only a handful of people have ever seen it until now. It'll be released on December 7th.
And I never heard, because I think I have all the Paul McCartney and Wings albums. And what's the second one you said?
It's Wildlife and Red Rose Speedway.
Yeah, Red Rose Speedway. I don't know if I have that one.
The band's first 2 albums.
I'm going to go get it.
In just a few minutes, we've got another chance for you to win $1,000 every hour of the day, 6 a.m. to 7 p.m. You've got a chance to win money for nothing on KZOK. Just a few minutes, you're going to hear the new hourly keyword. When you hear it, get ready to text 200-200, and the cash could be yours. 9:10 this morning. Usher has put out a lot of hit songs.
Yes, he has.
And he's worth a lot of loot.
Yeah.
But somebody is not so happy with the people who work with Usher. Now, this is not Usher himself at the basis of this lawsuit. However, it's a bunch of people who he worked with. A jury has awarded $44 million in damages. And then Usher's co-writers, Usher's people, reworked the song a little bit and then didn't give him any of the profits.
But he's not suing Usher?
Usher was not named
right.
because he was not one of the writers.
Usually when Usher's named in a lawsuit, it's because somebody's claiming that he gave them herpes.
Yeah.
Yeah, that goes around a lot.
Yeah, this guy wrote this song. They tweaked it around a little bit, didn't give him any money. Well, they have been ordered to pay up $44 million.
Wow. Bad Girl did not make enough. Like, I don't know that it made any money on it. So was it even a single?
I don't know. I'm not a big
Usher fan.
Usher aficionado.
I'm not an aficionado at all, but I think he's great. I thought he was the guy that stepped up to the plate to be the next Michael Jackson for a while. He sings beautifully, dances real well.
If you've got a dog at home And if you want that dog to be calm and happy and relax a little bit, put on some Bob Marley.
Or drug it. I'm just saying. That's what I read.
Benadryl. Give it some Benadryl.
Okay, you think a little softer.
Or put on some Bob Marley.
Oh, I'd give it some ganj. I got you now.
No, not just Bob Marley.
A big pot meatloaf?
No.
For meatloaf? To calm him down? Because he's crazy.
He is crazy.
Researchers have been studying the effects of different kinds of music on pets and found dogs were happiest when listening to reggae like Bob Marley or UB40.
How do you throw those two in the same sentence? I don't know what they were thinking about. They said, "No, really, your dog will be so thrilled when he's listening to, some good reggae like UB40."
Just any kind of reggae, dogs will be more chill.
I can see that. This makes me be more chill.
I love this. Is my favorite album of all time. Oh, actually, it's his All Hits album is my favorite album of all time.
And sometimes it's been recommended that shelters play reggae to calm the pets down.
Like doggy shelters?
Dog shelters, yeah. And that would raise their chances of adoption if they're not freaking out.
But you have to tell the guys that are adopting the dog, by the way, he's not going to act anything like this when you get home. Let's throw on some Bob Marley.
In entertainment news, Leah Remini has set her sights on Jehovah's Witnesses in her upcoming A&E special that is tied to her documentary series Scientology and the Aftermath.
I am so sick of this lady.
She posted a teaser trailer for this special. It's a 2-hour program set to air November 13th. And then her season 3 of Scientology and the Aftermath will come back on November 27th.
So this is a separate show altogether. Okay.
To now bash Jehovah's Witnesses.
Yeah.
She said, I thought Jehovah's Witnesses were just nice people knocking on doors. This will show you the truth.
All right, I'm interested. I don't love that she does this, but what can I do? I'm a consumer. I'm going to watch it. I know I'm going to watch it.
Yeah, my wife loves that Scientology show that she does.
So does mine. I do not care for it. Because let me ask you this, though. There's a series of the horrors that go on at Scientology, right? Then I'm going to do something else. I'm going to come back and do season 3 of the horror. Why aren't people going right to jail?
Yeah.
The stuff she alleges that they do to break you down and blah. It looks like, I believe it. I know when I was growing up, they were a weird, powerful kind of cult in Los Angeles. If you said something bad about them, they'd change your whole day. They'd kind of pretend to be cops or CIA or whatever, knock on all your neighbors' doors and say things. Have you ever heard anything about Paul and child molestation? Well, that's all they had to do and then go away. But they can't have done all of this stuff, can they?
Apparently, law enforcement watched season 2.
Yeah, season 2 of all these terrible things are happening. And Jehovah's Witnesses, whether you believe in Scientology or not, and I kind of don't, have at it. It seems fun. Isn't, what do you say the guy's called? Jehovah's Witnesses. Isn't that an actual religion, like that should be given some respect?
Yeah. I mean, I have, you do hear things about all religions that,
Dude, I'm a Catholic. What are we doing right now?
I think you could make this TV show about pretty much any
about
religion.
anything. But after, once you say, like I said, I'm a Catholic, well, the priest touched me and 500 other kids. Well, there's season 1, and we all know it, and people are in jail, and money has been sent on settlements. It just seems overzealous to me.
Yeah. For your chance to put an extra $1,000 in the bank, just text that word right now to 200-200. More chances to win throughout the day.
Or just to put it in your hand and go take somewhere to spend.
Yeah, that's right. Danny doesn't want you to save it or spend it on anything wise. Go out there and blow it. And I think that's a great idea.
And when I say blow it, that's not exactly what I mean, because I want you to have memories, if you can remember what you did. I want them to last a lifetime. You know what I want you to do? Remember the movie The Hangover?
Yeah.
You should have that weekend.
Do that.
Yeah.
Julia Louis-Dreyfus is one of the best-known comedic actresses of her generation, and now she is being recognized with the Mark Twain Prize for American Humor.
That's a good one, that award.
For a lifetime in comedy. She is the 21st person in the Kennedy Center Performing Arts to be honored with this, and Jerry Seinfeld, Stephen Colbert, and Tina. And she accepted her award and, was able to crack some jokes and be funny. She is just recovering from pretty serious breast cancer and treatment, and it's good to see Julia Louis-Dreyfus back on her feet.
It is. How many awards have been given out?
21.
Do you know how many of them been women?
I do not.
Because I'll bet that's not a fair thing. But it's not.
You think it's more,
much
many
more
more
men,
men have won. Yeah.
And at the box office, 40 years after he first appeared in theaters, Mike Myers still drawing a huge audience for a good scare. Halloween took in $77.5 million in North American theaters alone. First place at the box office, second highest horror opening of all time, behind last year's It. It also marked the second highest October opening, just behind Venom earlier this month. So Halloween at number 1 by leaps and bounds. Number 2, A Star is Born.
Yay.
19.3. Venom at number 3 with 18.1. Goosebumps 2, 4th place. And First Man, the space movie, at 5th place with 8.6 additional bucks.
A Star is Born not just making money at the box office either. They're selling that record like
Huge,
crazy.
like crazy.
Yeah, this is their second week as number 1 album.
Yep. And you know what's crazy about that to me? That Bradley Cooper is all over that album. He sings all over it.
Let's take a look at sports. Sports brought to you by Bradley Johnson Attorneys. If you're facing a DUI, call 1-800-DUI-AWAY. That's 1-800-DUI-AWAY. College football over the weekend. UW beat Colorado 27-13. WSU on the main stage beat Oregon 34-20. They are both back in action this Saturday with UW playing Cal 3:30, WSU Stanford at 4. Match yesterday for the Sounders. They beat the Dynamo 3-2. Their next match is against the San Jose Earthquakes Sunday at 1:30. Now, the Seahawks had a bye this week. They resume action next Sunday, Detroit, with a 10 o'clock start time. Let's see. So we had Sunday Night Football last night. Patrick Mahomes throwing a ton. He looked fantastic with a 45-10 win over the Cincinnati Bengals.
Jeez.
Drew Brees joins just 2 other quarterbacks in the record books. He and the Saints beat the Baltimore Ravens. He has now gotten a win over every single team in the NFL.
That's a really cool stat.
Yeah.
It is. I'd like to be able to say that about, whatever the R equivalent is. Well, I think at one point or another, we beat every other radio station in the world.
Yeah.
And the NFL's most accurate kicker was part of the reason why Drew Brees got into the record books. He has never missed a field goal until now. Justin Tucker missed 1 in his NFL career.
Such a tough year for
I thought I
kickers.
misheard it because I was watching the game. I thought I misheard it. He's never missed a kick.
Never missed one.
It just didn't sound right to me. But wow, it meant it. He never missed a kick. And then the second they told me that, he wrecked it.
Yeah.
Tonight, the Giants-Falcons, 5:15 start time. And when it comes to the Super Bowl, Amy Schumer says she will not be in any commercials this time around. She was in a big Bud Light commercial in the past, and this time she says she is going to not appear in any Super Bowl commercials to stand with Colin Kaepernick and his Take a Knee protest.
Are they not going to play Nike ads during the Super Bowl? Because then Colin Kaepernick's going to be in Super Bowl advertising.
That's a really good point, buddy.
Yeah.
I'm standing with Colin Kaepernick by doing not doing the thing he's going to do.
Who's making money right now during the Super Bowl?
I wonder. That's a really, really good point, Paul.
I bet they will try and run this.
bet they will.
I would, absolutely. And as we all know, I am completely over Amy Schumer.
Yeah.
She was at some protest pretending she's doing good, and they arrested her and a bunch of women protesting. I don't even remember what it was. Oh, Kavanaugh, I guess. And then they got him over to the holding area and let her go. And all the other people that were still handcuffed. And then she went and got popcorn and came back because they said you have to come back, but you don't have to wear handcuffs.
Oh.
And just fed people and laughed. Oh, I hated it.
And on Saturday night, the Dodgers beat Milwaukee 5-1, punching their ticket to the World Series. A rematch just 102 years in the making. So Boston is the home team. They have home field advantage. It starts tomorrow. And the Red Sox won last in 2013, but this is back-to-back series.
I don't pay enough attention to know that the team I'm betting on has been there recently.
Yeah, they were there last year. They lost, but they were there.
Then they have a better chance of winning this year.
And there's a report that Conor McGregor decided to visit a fire station in Boston and gave away 10 tickets to the World Series. Conor McGregor, UFC fighter, says, "You guys are the true proper heroes. It's an honor to be here. I wanted to bring gifts. Here's 10 tickets to the World Series."
Okay, let's see what's going to happen here. That can't be what he sounded like when he gave him those tickets, is it, Sarah?
You guys are the true proper heroes, eh? Here's some more tickets, to the World Series.
All right, couple things. One, you're a country away. But, the balls you hung with it.
Oh,
Nice.
shiver me timbers.
All right, whatever you got, you did it. That was awesome.
I'm under a pot of gold.
Now he's a munchkin or whatever the hell those guys are.
I can't do
Those
it.
things.
Irish, is that what?
No,
it's
he's
supposed to be?
Scottish. And
Damn.
thick Scottish, too.
And they say all good things must come to an end. But in Chicago, people had to throw a funeral for a Taco Bell.
Oh.
Wrigleyville Taco Bell.
Not the one that serves booze, right? That's where they were testing out booze, was in Chicago.
No, this is not that same one. This is
next to the ballpark.
Next to the ballpark. And they had an Irish wake, and it was all about saying goodbye to the Wrigleyville Taco Bell. They said we knew we had to throw an Irish wake, singing Danny Boy, drinking Irish whiskey, saying goodbye to Taco Bell.
Wow. Well, they're going to miss it.
Yeah.
I guess that was the right thing to do.
I'm not Irish, but I think having an Irish wake sounds like a good way to be celebrated.
It's a way to, you just drink and talk and somebody brings food, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll do
Sounds
that.
good.
Well, the Irish also call that Tuesday.
Right, exactly. Except for the dead guy in the living room.
Yeah.
That's Thursday.
All right, so LeBron James.
Yeah.
Saturday night, he is playing in front of the hometown crowd.
Oh, that's right. He's a Laker now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it did not end well. The Lakers and the Houston Rockets got into a fight.
Pow!
Yes, literal fight, fist fight. We had, Brandon Ingram.
I was sure a
James-
literal fight was like who's the best educated. Okay. You mean literally they punched each other. Oh, I got
They
it.
got into a fist fight. James Harden, Chris Paul, Rajon Rondo trading punches. Not exactly sure what started the whole fight, but word is Rajon Rondo spit on Chris Paul.
Ew.
They fought, and now the NBA has suspended Brandon Ingram for 4 games. Rondo for 3, Chris Paul for 2. No pay, they're suspended. And it was reported that LeBron James did not speak to his team after the game.
Boy, it's like first day. You can't be all that. You got to wait a couple of weeks to show that you're the king of everything.
First day, get your tempers in check.
Yeah.
People.
By the way, the first guy, what was his name? That got 4 days suspended.
Brandon Ingram.
Brandon Ingram lost just shy of $500,000.
Wow.
For those 4 games.
Yeah, I'm sure they have all lost a
Crazy.
boat ton of money, but you don't fight. And word is Anthony Kiedis of the Red Hot Chili Peppers was there and was shouting at the players, and he too was removed from
No,
the court.
they threw Anthony out. That's funny.
Sports brought to you by Bradley Johnson Attorneys. If you're facing a DUI, call 1-800-DUI-AWAY. Big show again tomorrow. I hope you will be here to join us for the whole thing, but want to remind you at 7:20, you can win a pair of tickets to see REO Speedwagon at the EQC when we play Faster Than a Speeding Wagon. 7:50, a filthy forecast, and that's just the tip. Just the tip of the
Just
iceberg.
the tip. There's a big fight because one guy spit on another guy. Paul, if some guy spit on me, if some guy spit on you, what would you do?
Oh, I'd punch him right in the face.
I would punch him right in the face, unless this one's going to be ugly. Unless it was Steve Slayton.
Oh, then where'd you punch him?
Are you kidding? I'd just take it home and put it in a little bottle and save it for the rest of my life.
Ew.
I thought that might go. I thought, man, you might be on the wrong track. Anyway, he's my buddy, and he's going to come to work any second now. Steve Slayton's going to walk into the room, and he's going to play a bunch of classic rock and roll for your listening pleasure, because that's what he does. We'll get out of his way, so bye.